Good evening and welcome to KUMBTV and to Eyes Up Mother Brown for the very, very first broadcast of the new year. It is 2021, that 2020 that everyone hated is gone. It's a thing of the past. And I'm talking over myself once again. I do that every week. Terribly, terribly amateur. I'm delighted to be joined for the first show of the new year by the regular team of Gnome and the Pink Palermo and Rio. From our various little home studios around the home counties. It is, of course, Everton versus West Ham United tonight, and we'll get straight into it because we are running, as is our way, rather late again tonight. Gnome, over to you for the teams, buddy.
Good evening, everyone, and of course, Happy New Year. 3 changes for us from the starting lineup against Southampton. There's a return for Kufal, and Benrahma gets a start. So we line up as follows: Fabianski, Kufal, Dawson, Ogbonna, Cresswell, Rice, Souček, Bowen, Benrahma, Fornals, and Haller. The bench, excuse me, Balbuena, who was nowhere to be seen the other day, is rested up. So we have Balbuena, Yarmolenko, Lanzini, Snodgrass, Noble, Diop, Antonio, Johnson, and the keeper, Randolph. Another 3 changes for the home team. Don't know what they are because I don't know how they lined up last time, but they start as follows: Pickford, Coleman, Mina, Holgate, Godfrey, Doucouré, Davis, Bernard, Sigurdsson, Richarlison, and Calvert-Lewin. There you go.
Excellent. Thank you very much. No, we're just over 10 minutes away from kickoff. Let's have our first look at the lineup. Pinky, what do you make of that? Benrahma, your old friend, in for his first start under David Moyes there.
I think it just shows outstanding confidence from David Moyes that he can put a player of his, shall we say, dubious defensive work rate on the pitch and still hope to get something. I mean, it's all about squad rotation at this point in time. You know, I'm hearing whispers, perhaps. Am I right in thinking that Fabianski is not in goal tonight?
That's what I've just been told. He's been injured in the warm-up, allegedly.
Oh,
okay.
Okay. Well, I'll keep
last time, didn't it?
I'll keep an eye on that. It wasn't. I wasn't when I was reading the teams out. It wasn't from the screen, the TV screen. So I'll try and confirm that ASAP. That's not what we want to hear.
So you know that's a bit of a blow, but sometimes you've just got to battle through and win the adversity. I think for me, of the 2 lineups, looking at grand old team, which is the Everton fans forum, a number of them are very concerned to be missing Keane in their back line. And they think that some of our aerial presence, that they perceive Haller as a bit of a threat, but 1 or 2 have quite rightly pointed out that Souček would be the danger man drifting into the box. So I'd say they're kind of like, if I was even betting odds, they're around about 55% to our 45%. That's where the weight of money is going from grand old team. But my view tonight, I think this is a big test. If you look at the 2 clubs historically, they are kind of a benchmark club for West Ham United, in my view. Mm-hmm. Traditionally similar sort of size support, traditional similar size grounds. They've generally had the edge over us. Yeah. If we can come away tonight with anything at all, that's a positive. So my money's going on a hard-fought draw this evening.
Okay, good stuff. Thank you, Pinky. Rio. Craig Dawson retains his place in the starting lineup. You no mention there that Balbuena is back. He's in the 20-man match day squad, but not able to keep his place. So kudos, I guess, to Dawson for man of the match the other night and keeping his place tonight. Good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Balbuena's been really impressive for us since his return to the side. But for Dawson to come in when he's been highly underrated and largely derided by our support that we actually signed him in the first place. He's come in, as you say, man of the match performance the other night, keeps his place, and rightly so. Old-fashioned centre half, sometimes that's what you need, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so. And what do you make of the rest of the lineup there, Rio? I mean, Antonio, we saw a flash of him against Southampton 48 hours ago. Thought he might be back in the starting 11 today, but Moyes has obviously resisted the opportunity to do that.
Yeah, Mikel's got this nasty habit of breaking down early on his return from injury. It does take him a little bit of time to get up and running. So I'm not surprised. I didn't think Seb had a bad game the other night. Again, he took a lot of stick on social media, but let's be honest, every single player does normally.
Yeah.
Pablo Fornell took a lot of stick earlier in the week when I thought he was one of the better players. So I didn't really want to rush in Antonio back, to be honest.
Okay.
We know what he does for this side, and he's a key player the way we set up. But there's still a lot of games left. Let's not rush him back. Let's just take our time, ease him back in the side.
Okay, good stuff. Thank you, Rio. Gnome, is this perhaps the last chance for Sebastian Haller to impress? Do you think? I mean, you would sort of expect Antonio to come in when he is fully fit. Also, some other changes tonight. Kufal back in the squad, as well as we've spoken about Benrahma coming in. But, a few changes all round again. And, of course, the goalkeeping situation.
Yeah, I still haven't had an update on the goalkeeping situation. I've just got meerkats trying to flog me something or other at the moment, or just had that a minute ago. But just before we came on air there was Mr. Moyes was being interviewed and was asked about Antonio. And it is very much being led by the medical team. The period of play that he got on the other night was that the medical team said you can give him 15 minutes, say, and any time that he gets today will be, sort of guided by that.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
We do have some other news, actually, no, just breaking that apparently David Moyes has told BT Sports that Ryan Fredericks isn't in the squad due to COVID. Now, it's not clarified whether he's actually contracted it or whether it's someone he's been in contact with. But, a few issues all round, really, tonight by the looks of things.
Yeah, it never rains, does it? What he was saying there just before we came on was that he pointed out that everybody gets so many games to shoehorn in over this period, but he said it's unusual that so many of ours have been away, and which is an interesting point. And just having a look now, there's Noble sort of walking up the pitch.
Okay.
I'm not trying to see what's going on here. Let's have a look. Well, the teams are beginning to appear anyway. There's been no confirmation of the Fabianski situation. As far as I can ascertain, he's still going to be on the pitch. So the teams are. No, that is Randolph. That is Randolph in the goalkeepers. They're walking around from the sort of porter cabin bits.
Yeah. Yeah, you've just seen him come into shot.
And that looked like Randolph was going through there. There he is now. So, that is a bit of a blow.
Been finding some form lately, hadn't he, Fabianski? Had that little sort of blip and been coming back into it the last few weeks. But Darren Randolph, we know what his problems are. We know he's not particularly good on crosses, but Pinky as a shot stopper, I mean, he's up there with the best, I'd say. So fingers crossed.
Yeah, he's not the worst option to have as a backup keeper. And what it really highlights is Fabianski's not getting any younger. And if we look at our squad overall, there's a number of key positions that we're going to need to, should we say, upgrade or replace or enhance between now and the start of next season. The chairman's already indicated there's not a lot of money to spend, if any, in January. I'm just looking through the squad and looking at, we'll probably need another keeper in the summer. We'll probably need another centre-back in the summer, another full-back at left-back in the summer. And you go on and on and on, and then you realise, of course, there won't be enough money to spend. So I just wonder if we're going to be tempted to try and get another year out of Fabianski, which might be the fateful year too far. Getting injured in warm-up is not a good sign.
Yeah, of course, that is called conjecture at the moment. We haven't had that confirmed yet. We know he's missing, but whether it's an injury or something else. I mean, of course, we've seen players go missing for all sorts of reasons so far. But I think that's the case, Rio, isn't it? I don't think anyone's actually confirmed what the reason is. But anyway, talking of goalkeepers, Rio, we were bemoaning the fact that a couple of weeks ago, West Ham fielded Randolph and David Martin on the bench. Seems Everton are doing it tonight. Olsen and Lossell, 2 out of the 9 subs there. And I don't suppose anyone at Everton will be bemoaning the fact that they haven't been spending, a fair few bob in the transfer window recently.
No, I mean, it's a weird one. You would have thought, particularly being at home, Everton would have the amount of players available to fill the bench even with some kind of under-23 player.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a weird one. We all know how bad Pickford can be. Olsen's had a couple of dodgy moments. It might be a tactical thing. You never know. They are poor keepers at times.
Yeah, you're not a fan of Pickford, Rio.
No, not really. It seems to be better for England than he does for Everton.
Yeah.
But we saw at the Olympic Stadium a couple of years back when Arnautovic put a goal straight through his hands a couple of times. We saw his challenge on Liverpool earlier in the season. For me, he's just a bit of a walking, clumsy mess at times. At times, like I say, for a country, he's decent. But I think he's very fortunate because England have got a couple of good keepers now. I mean, I really do rate Nick Pope.
Yeah, same here.
And I just think Pickford is a bit of a lucky boy, to be honest, because his club form doesn't match what he does for the country.
Yeah.
I can confirm anyway on the goalkeeping front, David Martin has travelled and is actually on the bench. So we're not without goalkeeper on the bench.
Okay. So we do have the full 9 substitutes then going into the game, which I guess is something. So, as I said, Everton with 3 goalkeepers in their squad tonight. West Ham also had 3. One wasn't going to be used, but has been called upon now. The news, if you're just tuning in, Lucas Fabianski has injured himself, we believe, or as we're led to believe, injured himself during the warm-up and is out of the team to face Everton tonight. Darren Randolph, Republic of Ireland #1, stepping in to the breach. I should, of course, wish everybody following us on YouTube tonight a very happy new year. Lovely to see you all. Hope you had a wonderful night last night. And obviously you couldn't go out partying, but I hope you had fun nonetheless. For what it's worth, I'm still feeling the effects a bit. If you're wondering why I'm a bit creaky, my apologies for that. But we are almost underway. We're just seeing a few names, I think, going across Gnome on the screens there, presumably of fans and people associated with Everton who passed in the past 12 months.
They're having a minute's applause for anybody, people with an Everton connection. Yeah. So there was staff and fans. So nice and quietly done. And very shortly they'll be taking the knee and then we'll be off.
Excellent. Good time to ask you all for your predictions. Gnome, let's start with you. What do you reckon?
1-1.
Okay, 1-1. Good stuff. Pinky?
1-1.
Oh, another 1-1. Rio, what about yourself? Going to buck the trend?
Yeah, I'm going to go for a 2-1 Everton win just because they're fitter and more rested than us. We've had a really busy 6 days, haven't we?
Yeah, I think I'm with you. I think I'm with you, Rio. I can't see us getting much out of this tonight without a little bit of luck. But I'll go for a 3-1 Everton win, and hopefully I'm as wrong as I usually am. We're underway. No, the game has begun. Everton versus West Ham United, New Year's Day.
Where's Timmy Breaker when you need him?
It's at moments like this that I feel for the Chinese takeaway down the bottom of the hill, where we normally stop for a plate of chips and the thickest gravy you've ever seen in your life. £2 a tray, Paul. Absolutely fabulous winter warmer.
Oh, that sounds good.
And I think I know the place, Piggy. I think the gravy's 10p a slice, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the place.
I know. Genuinely, I know the place you mean. Yeah.
West Ham starting quite well here now. The ball's not been in our half yet, and we're almost a minute in. Good stuff so far.
Yeah, I mean, can't complain so far. We've been going forward. No real opportunities created, but we've we've been going forward anyway. Ball's back with Everton now, and it's we're sort of watching them pass it across the back two there. And in fact, it's gone all the way back to Pickford, who sends it long. The head turns around the midfield. Not much happening.
Shall we do a time check, gentlemen, while nothing's happening?
Well, Benrahma's on the ball first. He's still on the ball. He's kept it well. He's given back. I think that's Fornals out there. Cresswell into Rice. Rice plays a cross field ball out to Kufal. We'll look at a probe a bit here. This is nice ball inside the fullback, but that's been covered well, and that'll be a goal kick to Everton. And I have 1 minute, 58, 59, 2 minutes.
Rio, how are you getting on with your stream?
I'm 20 seconds in. Might have been a different time zone, to be honest.
that is some considerable margin, nearly 2 minutes behind. I'm only about 10 seconds behind now, which is I'm usually down with you, Rio, or where you are. Pinky?
You're on a different match.
I'm up with Gnome, so
excellent. Not looking particularly enthusiastic in the chat on YouTube. Hobo going for a 3-0 defeat. Lewis John going for a 3-0 defeat with Fabianski, and now he's not in the team. Thinks we're going to go down 4-0. So let's see if anyone, if you've got your match predictions, get them in now. It's still time to get them in. Nothing's really happened, and we'll be interested to see what you think. Desi Messi going for 2-1 to West Ham. There you go. The first West Ham win predicted tonight from the team and the guys on YouTube. We are looking at a couple of forums tonight. As always, Rio is keeping his eye on the KUMB.com match thread. Pinky looking at grand old team, our Everton counterparts. Let's start with Rio first. Rio, pre-match, anyone predicting a win, or is everyone sort of as nervous about tonight as we are?
Well, prior to the team announcement, there was a lot of expected kind of concern about fatigue, and Everton have had the resting period that we haven't.
Yeah.
Clucking Bell put from personal experience, the only thing I've ever got at Goodison Park is a good kicking. I'll take a draw every day. And Diogenes, all things including Everton themselves, point to an Everton win. But since the team announcement, there was a huge wave of optimism, which is virtually unheard of from the KUMB. No?
Indeed. Do you think that's something to do with Benrahma coming in?
Partly. I think Bowen and Benrahma coming in, people have a lot of praise for Moyes. Vienna's put more like it, Moyes, happy with the team. SH has put the team selector and manager had one too many iron brews last night. Vienna put, well done, Moyes. Love that team. Tora. So prior to the Fabianski thing, there's been a massive swing in optimism.
Well, that's good. We can't knock that. I mean, fortunately, Darren Randall's not had to touch the ball yet, I don't think, as we're rapidly approaching 4.5 minutes in. So nice to see a little bit of optimism from the KUMB forum. Good stuff. Everton attacking currently down the left. Pinky, grand old team. What's the view there? Are they confident of repeating that 4-1 win from earlier in the season?
There's quiet confidence. I mean, to be fair to them, it's got a website of, shall we say, long experience, where they know that if you give it too large too soon, it comes back and bites you on the backside. So they know full well that the big differences tonight will be they've had a week off and we're playing our third game in that time frame. So they're expecting fatigue to set in on us. They think we've got a huge amount of physicality in midfield compared with them, which is interesting, and plenty of attacking options they perceive. So, the general feeling is they don't think we're mugs; they just think we're tired, and we'll just run out of legs. Interestingly, the head steward at Goodison has asked David Moyes to wear his accreditation just to prove who he is at Goodison Park tonight, which you can't knock those Scousers. They've got a great sense of humour, haven't you?
Yes. You think if anyone knew who David Moyes was, it would be Everton. No.
Oh well, that was interesting. Everton broke down the left, and seeing it again, and that was Sigurdsson played the ball in. Dawson stuck out a leg to block the cross, and Randolph came along and basically it was a back pass that wasn't meant. So no free kick, obviously, but Randolph prevented the corner. It was Dawson cutting out the cross. We're on the ball again now. It's very, very, very even at the moment. Benrahma to Fornell's in promising position. Cresswell out on the overlap, sizing up the cross. Not a great cross, and it's still in there, partly cleared. It's gone out for a West Ham throw on the right. So
one thing I have noticed already, Gnome, so far is Benrahma making himself available at every opportunity. Yeah. Really eager to get on the ball tonight.
He is, yeah. Well, as I say, I mean, a lot been said about him, indeed by the manager in some cases. Some good play there between Fornells and Cresswell. Cresswell again measuring up the cross, and I think that was Bowen actually got something on the cross, but wasn't able to direct it, and it's gone. It's been picked up harmlessly by Pickford in the open goal. Let's have a look again.
I think we can put that down as a first effort on goal. Technically, given that there was contact on the cross. Yeah. What about just looking at that, Pinky? I think it was Fornells. Fantastic little back heel on the flank there to bring Cresswell back into play.
Yeah, and we're playing with no little confidence. You know, this is, if they've got the legs. You know, this isn't the worst West Ham United team I've seen put on a pitch. Benrahma, as you're saying, he's taken up a very central role. And he is pretty much saying, "Give me the ball at every opportunity." So,
yeah,
you know, we're showing plenty of attacking intent. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, 8 minutes, just coming up to 8 minutes gone. It's Everton 0, West Ham United 0 so far. Even stuff, even exchanges, as Gnome says. And West Ham certainly giving as good as they've got, as we see Everton break on the right-hand side, but Angelo Bonner clears it out, averts the danger. Rio, how are we doing on that stream? Are we anywhere closer to 8 minutes yet, or are you still lurking a little bit behind there?
Yeah, Frank Lampard's to score with a diving header. I think we're going to get to Wembley here.
Frank Lampard Senior. Yes. Quite a...
yeah, I'm 6 minutes 45 in.
Yeah, I was watching White Christmas actually on the TV. I think it was either yesterday or the day before, funnily enough. And of course, whenever that song comes on, out comes the old Frank Lampard version, much to my wife's disgust, of course, as I usually sing it around the family table. Everton have had a shot, no?
Yeah, Davis found himself some space at the edge of the box. Would have been optimistic from there anyway, even without taking into account. He had a slight slip as he took it, so nothing much to worry about. Harmlessly wide. Just about every Christmas quiz you've ever done mentions the fact that the song "White Christmas" first appeared in the film Holiday Inn. As West Ham go on the attack, Bowen centrally has a very optimistic shot, which is blocked on the edge of the box, and Everton are able to bring it away.
But I just wonder there, Gordon, if, you know, it was Bowen that let loose then. Have they been told Pickford's in goal, shoot on sight?
Yeah, could well be. Well, that's a very important foot in from Ogbonna there. As Bernard was bursting into the box. And
who was it, gentlemen? Who was it who mentioned that the other night? Was it Briz, perhaps, about West Ham's penchant for taking a shot from long range, something that we hadn't been doing, or the other way round, wasn't it? Anyone remember?
I think Briz did mention it the other night. Yeah.
So there you go. So maybe that's more evidence tonight that they're prepared to have a go. But we'll see. We'll see how that develops.
96% chance of surrendering possession.
Who was that? Sorry, what was that one?
It's just 96% chance of surrendering possession if you shoot from outside the box. Oh, okay. I'd say that in tribute to Sam Allardyce, who of course has managed both of these clubs in his time. Because I'm sure every single player on the field will know that number.
Yes, probably had it well drilled into them at some point by Big Sam, who of course was calling for a break. Gnome, I believe, recently wanted a 2-week. What was the circuit breaker? I think was the term
I mean,
used, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that could be possibly in the grand scheme of things, and you know, we must remember that football is not the be all and end all, and yeah, he was saying that he's 66 now, and he's kind of scared of COVID, and maybe it was time for a circuit breaker. But you do wonder how vociferous he would have been had West Brom been not sort of second from bottom in the table, shifting 5 goals a game. It's
yes, in big trouble, aren't they? Big trouble.
Yeah.
This
South Sheffield United.
dreadful,
anyway,
dreadful shame, of course, that one. They still only got 1 point this season.
Two.
They've got 2 now.
Yeah. I can't remember. They picked up a draw against recently. Burnley, wasn't it?
Imagine being the team that conceded a point to Sheffield United this year. That wouldn't go down too well. But anyway, here we are. 12 minutes gone. It's Everton 0, West Ham United 0. Pretty even stuff. Everton 61% possession so far. West Ham 39%. Both teams with a shot at goal each. Well, sort of, we'll class it as a shot at goal.
Fornell's bringing the ball away now. This is looking promising. Fornell's plays the ball out wide to Benrahma, who it was a terrible ball. Not enough on it. Benrahma tried to keep the ball, but there was it really wasn't enough. That was shame, because that was a promising move, because Fornells and Benrahma were moving forward in tandem, but that Fornells really should have made a better ball than that. Yeah,
an interesting challenge on Fornells there, Gnome, as that build-up began. It looked a bit naughty to me. I wonder if perhaps the play had stopped before that. We might have had a booking there.
Yeah, it wasn't something that registered, I'm afraid. So, okay. Well, if they show it again, I'll be a better place to comment. But,
okay.
Everton now sort of moving down our right. No cross in yet, and slightly fortunate Ricochet nearly plays them in there, but we get it cleared. Haller's gone all the way, and I think he'll be given a foul against that. But he shakes his head. They're probably lightest touches, but free kick to Everton. Just inside our half, but interesting to see Haller running all the way across there to at least make the challenge. And
yes, good stuff. Good stuff. We want to see a bit more of that, don't we? Hello to Sky, a new name in the stream, saying hello to us. Good to see you on the stream. Hope you enjoy what you're watching. It's Everton 0, West Ham 0. Pinky, even stuff so far. West Ham defending solidly at the moment, and looking to it's standard Moisey stuff so far, isn't it? Looking to hit the opposition on the break.
Well, actually, it's a fairly open game, and the observation I make at the minute, I think Everton have got a bit of a soft middle tonight. If I was looking for somewhere to exploit, I'd be playing it straight through the middle. So I think we've got a reasonable shout here this evening. This, as long as we don't run out of the legs. And I saw a stat on Declan Rice earlier today. He's played every minute of every game for a year. Wow. In of top flight matches. So that's remarkable, really, in the modern era to not miss a minute.
Wasn't he one of the few players last season who played every single minute as well? I think it was only a handful.
I mean, it's astonishing, really. Takes tremendous fitness and physique to do that in this league, that's for sure.
It does indeed. Coming up to the quarter of an hour mark, Rio, one player that I wanted to ask you about that came to Everton this year, someone that we were linked with for quite some time while he was at Watford, is of course Doucouré, who is very, very strong. We're talking about Everton potentially having a soft centre there, but he's a very, very highly rated player, and I must confess I don't know how he's done this season so far, but a player you would have perhaps liked to have seen at West Ham. Have we been able to extend that far financially?
Yeah, no, it's a shame we finances ain't in order, because for me he's done very well this season, and he adds a little bit to ever midfield, which is something that we could do, particular strength in depth. He might have given Declan a bit of a rest, a bit of a break, and allow him to have more than the potential 7 days off he's going to get.
Yeah.
But Corey's been a very good player this season, very useful acquisition, and I think it's indicative that someone of the calibre of Carlo Ancelotti has picked him up. I think that speaks volumes to the player himself.
Yeah, it's a good point you make, really. It would have been ideal, wouldn't it? We've just seen Aaron Cresswell make a really good defensive block there to regain possession.
Potential injury here. ball's deep in Everton territory. I think it was Dawson.
Yeah,
Made
Dawson.
a little bit of a hash of a clearance, and it has gone down. Yeah, I'm not very good at identifying players' backsides, but or is it?
It was Dawson. It was Dawson. Gnome. Yeah, he made a bit of a hash of the clearance, didn't he? And immediately, and he's gone. He looks like he's in big trouble to me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it is Dawson. Yeah, he's just basically motionless, which is never a good sign. Well, something we could well do without. Let's have a look at it again. Yeah, I don't know. He's just gone over on his ankle or what there. But he was looking straight ahead to play it and screwed the touch to the left and immediately collapsed.
It's a strange one, isn't it?
Near him.
There's no obvious twist of the ankle there or a stretch. It's just a very strange one. I suppose, no, the one good thing, you know, and it's never a good thing losing a player, but if we're going to lose someone, at least that's someone we've got options on the bench to replace. There really is. They've just shown it again. There really is nothing obvious. You can't see. There's a slight slip, but
it's an embarrassment injury. He's made of a real hash of a simple ball. Yeah, can't believe he's done it, and he's gone down like a sack of potatoes. Yeah, get up.
Not looking at all happy.
You know, we've all done it, lad. Yeah, but you know, you just made a hash of a simple ball. I'm filing under nothing wrong with him.
Assuming that isn't the case, Pinky, who's coming on here? Diop or Balbuena?
I would think it'd be Balbuena would come on. You know, I would think that would be the logical move. Yeah. While we're waiting to see what happens with Craig Dawson, who again is reasonably motionless at the moment, quite concerning. Down there. John Chillout asks how Haller's doing holding the ball up tonight. I don't think he's had a chance to do it so far yet, John. Been quite involved, as Gnome said a few minutes ago, been chasing a few lost causes and putting in a few decent challenges, but hasn't really been too involved at the tip of our attack yet so far. I suppose
walking off. Now he's walking off with the physios, and he's moving okay, walking. I mean, he's not running off, and the two physios are flanking him. They're not carrying him off or anything. So, but he's swinging his Lucozade, whatever it is, isotonic stuff. But it looks like he might come back on. It's difficult to see, actually.
He's turned to face the pitch straight away, which is normally indicative of the player coming straight back. But very unusual the way he went down. Yeah, strange.
Yeah, he's back on. So he didn't look happy. He went down. He was down for quite some time, and the ball ended up with Pickford, who kicked it out for the treatment to be allowed. And clearly the treatment was needed, and he was actually lying down for a long time before he even sat up. So
I think you're going to have to say Pinky's right. I think it was the embarrassment factor.
I mean, when I miss a double top to check out on the darts, when I miss it by more than a couple of millimeters, straight away I go for the old contact lenses moved. I mean, we've all been there.
I'll be fair. I think from what I've seen of Dawson, I don't think he's that sort of player. And I think there's obviously some genuine concern there. As Benrahma.
I'll tell you what though, Rio, it was a shocking pass, wasn't it, from Dawson?
He found Ogbonna. I can't see what the problem is,
I think he was aiming for Haller, No, 20 minutes gone. Bring us back in. Bring us back to the football.
Yeah, Dawson's on the ball now and takes a couple of touches and plays it to Rice and looks okay there. Benrahma
was he aiming for? Yeah,
in the middle there and a bit crowded out. Tried to go one way then another and ran out of space. So Everton now on the attack. That's Bernard who's been looking right, and I think this will be the first corner of the game. Bernard tries to get Bernard tries to get a cross in. Kupal blocks, and 20 minutes and 40-something seconds in, we get our first corner of the game, as far as I can remember.
Happy
We've never left the EU.
Sorry, Rio.
Now, we've now left the EU. It's no longer Bernard, it is Bernard.
Bernie.
Does this mean we have James Rodriguez on the bench as well?
No, it's Jim.
Jimmy Rod. J-Rod.
Anyway, corner comes across out to the sort of penalty spot area. I think Calvert-Lewin got something on it, but it's headed harmlessly wide and goal kick, and nothing much to worry about there. Let's have a look at it again.
Okay, I've got a pass comment on something I've just seen in the stands. Yeah, there's clearly a club paid for banner behind the goal. Fantastico Magnifico, and a picture of Ancelotti in it. And I'm sorry, Everton Football Club, you've won trophies in your time. You know, you're a famous football club. You don't need to do that for a manager that's been with you for a year. I don't care how good Carlo Ancelotti is. You're demeaning yourself. And can this just stop, please? These club sponsored, purchased, designed banners. It's just rubbish. Rant over, as the saying goes.
West Ham win the ball. Bowen stuck a leg out and Kufal tied up. Bowen's gone on this long run down the right wing. He's now got two on him. Not an awful lot of help, and it's been put away for a West Ham throw deep in Everton territory. Long run there from Bowen. Stuff that I've seen in the stand a few minutes ago, they were focusing on Michael, as we can call him now, Antonio, or Mike Tony to give him his English name, and the return of the hot water bottle.
It's back. It's back.
Well, a minute or two after Everton got their first corner, we have ours. Some Kufal got in promising position, and Bernard, or Bernie, somebody come up with an anglicisation for Ancelotti. But anyway, the cross was blocked, and it's a corner to West Ham on our right-hand side. Bowen's on the ball now. Both hands up in the air. In swinging corner. Oh! Now, Haller I think he got something on it, but the radar was off. A couple of yards wide. So that'll go down as a chance. Have a look at it again. Yeah, he's in the 6-yard box, Haller. He gets something on it, but it's there's no direction of it. I think it's more off the top of his head, maybe, and out for a goal kick. So one corner each.
A shame that Bowen wasn't a little bit closer there, Gnome, stealing in at the far post and almost able to get something on that.
He'd have had to do something. He took the corner.
Who was it coming at the back post?
Wasn't Benrahma, I think.
Perhaps it was. Anyway, there you go. It shows how much notice
I
was
I'd have
taking.
been impressed. If Bowen got on the end of that corner, I'd have been very impressed.
Either way, it's West Ham's first corner. We have played 24.5 minutes, and it's Everton 0, West Ham United 0. Some match stats for you so far. Everton 66% possession, West Ham 34. Everton 2 shots at goal. West Ham only 1. I guess we're not counting that effort just then from Haller. And not a single shot on target a quarter of the way through the game. Rio, sort of following the pattern of the last couple of games in terms of our efficiency in the final third, you might say.
Yeah, I think it's basically summed up by a couple of people on the forum. 61 Dixie's put, it's a very strange game so far. It's not as if it's got a lot going for it at all, which is good from our point of view. Sticky has put, wrong one.
Oh, well played, Kufal. Some good defensive work from Kufal. A, to win the ball, and B, keep the ball in play. And as we win the ball back. Sorry, Rhea.
That's it. Now, Hammers 92 has put, we look absolutely knackered. And so do most teams right now. With the amount of games being squeezed in at the moment, I'm not afraid this is to be expected. Rice and Souček look particularly leggy too, in my opinion. Which is something I kind of picked up the other day as well.
You've got to be kidding. I think Rice is looking absolutely outstanding this evening. Who's saying that on the forum?
Hammer's 92.
He must be 192. Yeah, and I'm sorry, Hammer's 92, but Rice is absolutely on fire this evening. Heavens above, what does he want from a midfielder? Chuffing Nora, eh?
Rio, any more in there, or any more support for Rice, or is everyone else anyone else thinking?
No, I think it's been such one of them quiet games again that they've all turned to drink. Now they're talking about drinking Adams, go shit, gym and run. You know, it's like this on Monday. Sorry, what's the Southampton game? They did it. It's like 2 pages full of alcohol fueled what you're drinking while this dreadful misery is going on. But yeah, it's pretty much continuing the same vein.
I'm sorry, but I'm watching a different game. I think the energy levels from our team, bearing in mind this is our 3rd game in a week, are pretty good. And let's not forget where Everton have started today. You know, they're the form team in the division at the minute, and they've barely had a sniff in our box this evening. I think we're playing well here tonight. This is good stuff so far from West Ham.
Well, we are holding them.
I just think our members like a drink then.
I don't think there's any doubt about that. Pinky, what's going on Grand Old Team? What are they saying so far?
Well, you know, they're basically, just look at some of here. You know, Randolph not kept a clean sheet since 2017, conceded 4 last time he played. I wonder what's coming. So their cautious optimism is now turning into cynical pessimism, dare I say it. You know, they're not too cocky. Let's put it that way. You know, they're fairly quiet, shall we say?
Oh,
no, Gnome.
Sorry, I thought we might be in a little bit of trouble there, but it's been sorted out.
Who sorted it out for the record? Who put the tackle in?
Was that Dawson?
No, it's Declan Rice.
Declan Rice, was it? Sorry, keeping an eye on what was happening there. But you know, they got in behind us a little bit, but it was a case of trying to keep the ball in. And when they worked it across, again, as you say, Rice's timely interception. I think Rice is having a good game. He doesn't look leggy at all to me. How old is he? 21. I mean, I'm looking tired watching him, but
he's
on the right wing now.
Putting a shift in so far. The boy, I'm getting involved everywhere. What do we, Pinky? You know, you've had a lot to say about Saeed Benrahma in the last few weeks. What are you making of his performance so far tonight?
Has anyone got that plate of humble pie ready for me? Because certainly the first 15-20 minutes tonight, he's looked lively. He wanted the ball. He's faded a little bit. But,
on the attack now, Bowen out to Kufal.
He's making himself available. He's making good runs.
There we go. Haller tries to make Well, sorry, Pinky. It was just a good spell of play, but it sort of founded on the rock of Haller there. Kufal got the cross in. Attempted clearance came as far as Haller, as Everton now are on the attack, but that Souček picks that one up. But Haller got into a good space there and didn't seem to know what to do with it. And eventually, having taken a couple of touches, he didn't really get a shot away. As we're going forward again now, Rice on the ball, plays it out wide to Kufal, who's in the box. And ball played in, and it's Benrahma out wide to Cresswell. Cresswell, shot.
Honestly, you'd think Everton had played 3 times in a week. If anyone looks a bit leggy, it's them tonight. You know, we're
promising for West Ham. Haller did well to hold the ball up, played it back to Benrahma, played it out to Cresswell, whose shot really lacked accuracy, and Bowen was a couple of feet away from turning what was a poor shot perhaps into a goal.
Pinky, we were just talking about Benrahma there, about his influence in the game so far, and as Gnome's pointed out there, you know, set up Cresswell really well.
I think he's playing pretty well tonight, Benrahma. It was interesting. There was a moment when we were defending and he was tracking back, but he's kind of like tracking back with a view to make sure that he wasn't going to have to make a tackle, if you get my drift, which doesn't particularly upset me, given the fact that actually, you know, he's the sort of player that if he puts a tackle in too near our goal, is probably going to do more harm than good, if you get my drift. But he's getting around the pitch plenty tonight as Benrahma, so you can't actually fault his work rate. Everton tearing down our right flank at the minute. Ball comes in, header. Oh, that's a poor clearance from Cresswell. Picked up by the Everton player. Gets the cross in. Ball cleared by Souček. Everton back in possession though. Now West Ham pick it up now, giving about sloppy pass from Cresswell again.
Nobody gave Cresswell a shout there. He could have left that go out for a goal kick, but he's trying a leg of it to keep it in. Or if they did give him a shout, he ignored it. But
Everton continuing to build here at the moment. 32 minutes gone, Gnome.
Yeah, ball's on the halfway line with Everton now, and in fact it's gone all the way back to the edge of the box to Pickford. So a little bit of mild worry there. As I say, caused again by a bit of sloppiness from Cresswell. As I say, if he got the shout, he ignored it. If he didn't get a shout, then shame on the rest of the defence. But that all stemmed, though. That was a breakaway where Everton got out of jail a little bit because they did one of these taking the goal kick inside the box efforts, and we closed them down well and nearly came away with the ball. But it was on a breakaway from that. So some good pressing there.
Rio, as far as West Ham are concerned, we're just over half an hour into the game. Who's standing out for you so far? I mean, Pinky's mentioned Rice. We've spoken about Benrahma. Anyone sort of taking your eye?
I think Kufal's quite well as well. I mean, they've not really attacked much down our left-hand side. He's been very kind of competent in possession, not done anything outlandish, been very solid. You know, they've got a lot of pace on the flanks, and we're coping really well with them at the moment. So Kufal's on his return done all right for me.
Okay, it's a workmanlike performance, isn't it, so far, really? No one's sort of really standing out, I guess, but everyone putting in a shift here by the looks of it. Yeah,
at the moment, there's a couple of comments on the forum that we look like we could run out of steam because it's been paid at a quite ferocious pace compared to at this stage of the Christmas period. You wouldn't expect it to be this fast, but yeah, it's moving quite quickly, and there's a little bit of worry that we might run out of steam.
Poor kick from Randolph there, but Calvert-Lewin couldn't really do anything with it. Slipped as he tried to control it, and we've got the ball back. But wasn't the greatest of kicks there from Randolph, who's now got the ball back. Tries to find Kufal out in the wing, doesn't. But we've won the ball back through Bowen. Lovely turn from Bowen, and superb son. Plays the ball down the line to Kufal. Kufal gets the ball nearly to the byline, but it's shepherded out for a throw into West Ham. Lovely bit of skill there from Bowen.
Terrific, wasn't it?
Won the ball back and then sort of basically left two Everton players for dead.
No, I'm also good to see that energy from Kufal as a supporting fullback stroke wing back.
Another corner. Throw-in was played into Benrahma, who controlled it on his chest, tried to swivel and get the cross in, which was blocked. So another corner at West Ham, which Bowen's picked up. Looks like he's going to be taking it. And Dawson and Ogbonna seem to be interested in going up. Cresswell has a quick word with Dawson, though, but let's see what we get from this.
Interesting also to note 4-0 signalling to the bench there. I'm not quite sure what that was. Obviously something tactical.
Yeah, missed that. Anyway, corner comes in, played to the back of the box a little bit. Oh, not quite sure what happened there. Ogbonna tried to, another cross goes in. It's another call at the onside.
Bornham saying the bench, it was his turn to get pulled off at half time, and he gave him a cheeky wink as well.
Let's have a look. Ogbonna tried a little flick and it hit the Everton player in the face. Mina hit in the face, borderline foot up, but Mina's head was down as well. So you see them given as dangerous play sometimes. Sometimes you don't. I think either decision wouldn't have been wrong there, shall we say? Anyway, corner on our left. And Cresswell signals taken. Bonner was looking interested there, but it cleared him. It's out as far as Bowen now. Bowen plays the ball back in, but that's going to be straight down Pickford's throat. So end of that little passage of play. Pickford plays it out short, and Everton are building out from the back again.
Everton 0, West Ham United 0. My stream seems to be going a bit dodgy. I'm just waiting for it to come up. So, yeah, I think we're gonna have to leave it to the other guys for the next few minutes.
Rice on the ball, plays a lovely ball down the right, picked up by Benrahma, plays it back to Rice. Again, cuts in the cross, and Haller again just couldn't gather the ball in the middle. You know, tonight he's been the one weak spot for me in West Ham. Again, he's not offering enough, Sebastian Haller, but for the fact that we're managing Antonio back from injury, he'd be a change I'd make very early in the second half. Because I very much get the feeling if we had a fit Antonio up top here tonight, I think we'd give this Everton backline a torrid time. I really do.
I think Antonio would make things happen rather than wait for them to happen as Haller, Haller's want. So clearance from Kufal. Bowen ends up with the ball eventually. Slightly clipped there, but ball's played out. Right-hand side, Benrahma's got it now, but Mina comes across and puts out for a throw-in. Taken quickly, and it's given us a goal kick. Oh, there's a little shove there, and certainly he was looking for it. It was Suchek there. Let's have a look here. Well, he's been pushed in the back. It's like that. So that really should be a free kick, and for some reason wasn't. Go figure, as our American cousins say.
Yes.
Goal kick to Everton, though. Such it is.
Yes. 38 minutes, 38 and a bit minutes gone. Everton 0, West Ham United 0. Not an awful lot happening really so far. Everton and West Ham sharing 3 shots each so far. We're still, gentlemen, we are still awaiting a first shot on target, I believe.
Yeah. Not a surprise at the moment because of the way the two teams are lining up. They're very much sort of cancelling each other out. Sorry, there's a moment there was a little sort of loose ball from an Everton midfielder there. It's that sort of thing. There's never any danger of anything happening there, but it's that sort of thing that's going to cause the first goal in this match, where there's a slight mistouch or something, and Pickford plays a long ball and it's straight all the way through to Randolph. I'd say it's not a classic, but
that's one way of putting it.
Ignoring that from a West Ham point of view, we're not playing badly at all. I'm pleasantly surprised in this. Maybe I'm slightly disappointed in Everton because I thought Everton might be coming at us a bit more, but
all good so far. All good so far with nearly 40 minutes on the clock. Rio, were you expecting a bit more from Everton than we've seen tonight, as is the case with Gnome?
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, you think with 6 days rest as well compared to our 2, they'd be all over us a little bit. You know, they exploit the place down the left, down the flank. Sorry, but we're matching them.
Oh, nearly again. Benrahma nearly got a foot in there. That was. It's going to be a loose pass from, and not necessarily from Everton, but it's going to be a slightly loose pass that will see the deadlock broken if it happens at all. But Everton on the ball now. But again, we've got them so everything's so well shepherded that ball gets played out to the wing and they've got nowhere to go and it goes back to the halfway line. Not complaining, but
our midfield are absolutely working their socks off here tonight.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, talk about the midfield we've wanted in West Ham for a long time. You know, this is tremendous stuff from our guys this evening. It really is. Bearing in mind the fixture list we've had and so forth.
Just to illustrate that, Bowen's run fully 40 yards to take the ball off an advancing Everton player there. and well played. It was great stuff.
That's actually really good work from both our wide men there. Pinky, you've no mention Bowen making that run back, but just before that, we saw Fornells on the other side closing on the Everton winger to help Cresswell regain possession.
Absolutely, and again, put that down to some decent recruitment of getting some younger players in. And if you look there, the Fornells, Bowen, Rice, Souček, the four of them haven't got 100
well
years.
Well played, Rice. Benrahma. There was some great blocking from blocking header from Rice there. Played into Benrahma, who just couldn't find space for the shot. But some great play by Rice. But Everton have now won the ball back and they're coming away with it. But yeah,
it does, Pinky. It does really bode well, doesn't it? Actually, you're talking about that midfield there, and there's years left in that, isn't it?
I mean, I don't want to set too many hairs running because we all know who whether the real jewel in the crown in the team is. But whatever the chairman's got, if he's got anything at all in terms of money, if he's ever been a West Ham United supporter, he needs to be thinking how he can get a slightly stronger squad and somehow persuade Rice to stay, on our books and commit himself fully to West Ham United, because, we've got 4 decent players there. Stick a decent striker in this team, and suddenly we're half a dozen positions up the league table. And then you say to Declan Rice, well, why do you want to go to another club? You could actually do it here. And this, we'll see it in January. How ambitious is the chairman? Does he have the pockets? And if he doesn't, sell up and sell to someone who does have the pockets to fund what could be, almost like a new good era from West Ham United, because Fornells, Rice, Souček, Bowen, you can build from there. But if you suddenly start selling Declan Rice, then what do you do? What do you do? You have to build, and you can't always dismantle every year.
Yeah, very much so.
Giving away a free kick on our left, the Everton right, Bernard.
Was that a foul? No, was that a foul by Fornells? I was going to ask. Yeah.
Stuck a leg out on him and basically caught the top of his foot. So free kick.
Yep. Dangerous.
It was the first time that they looked like making use of the width out there. Bernard basically a little bit too quick for Fornells, who stuck a leg out and connected with foot rather than ball. So free kick, dangerous position.
And a one-man wall.
It's been, it played far too deep. Haller got a head on it, and but it was that's Bernard again, isn't it? Yeah, came in from the other wing to try and get the cross in. But that's been blocked for an Everton corner. So,
final minute of the first half. Chance of probably the final chance known for Everton to do something here in this opening half.
I don't know. There'll be a good 3 minutes, I'd have thought, of stoppage for Dawson's
embarrassing
little breather there. Anyway, corner played in. Edge of the 6-yard box. He's played out. Bernard's.
Great Bernard from Randolph.
Takes a shot from just outside the box. Down. Randolph saves low down to his right. Despite being fouled there by that was going in, and it was well watched by Randolph. That was good save.
Great save. Pinky, first shot on target of the game.
Yeah, absolutely, and they didn't even surrender possession at that point. But Mr. Allardyce, maybe it wasn't 96% chance, but yeah, that's the first shot on target. And that's the first glimpse we've seen of really anything from Everton tonight, who I think have been pretty poor, it must be said. I think we're bossing most in the middle of the park without actually creating all that much ourselves in their penalty box. But bearing in mind Everton are the home team here this evening, perhaps they're fortunate that Goodison Park's empty, because I can't imagine that their supporters would be very happy with what we're watching tonight.
Pinky, are we kind of victims of our own sort of excellence in some way? We've talked about Bowen and Fornells working really hard defensively, but does that sometimes leave us short in attack?
I'm not sure that's the issue. I think what's leaving us short in attack is a statue up top. You know, I mean, let's, it pains me to say it because I'd love Haller to come good, but he doesn't make enough happen himself. You know, and just saying, well, I need the ball played here, I need the ball played there, I need this, that, or the other. Well, do you know what? The very best strikers actually make things happen. They don't wait for things to happen. And, you know, that's where we're short. And I think, you know, Bowen and Fornals, they're doing their jobs. You know, their job is to get up and down and support the defenders as they are. Because Souček and Rice ain't letting anything through the middle. So Everton know, you know, press down the flanks is their best chance. But Haller has got to do more himself. Show for a pass. Yeah. Come a bit deeper, try and pick the ball up. You know, just move. You know, and do I think it's fatigue? No, because we say the same thing week after week about him. Simple as.
Yeah, bizarrely perhaps, given that Dawson situation earlier in the half, we've only had 2 minutes of additional time.
2 minutes of stoppage. I thought it was a little shy of what Dawson was down for a good long while. It seemed a lot longer than 2 minutes. Yeah, but there we go. That's the end of the half.
Yeah, 47 minutes and 6 seconds, and now referee tonight calls an end to the opening half here at Goodison Park. It has finished that half. Everton 0, West Ham United 0. Everton 59% possession to West Ham's 41, pretty close. 4 shots to 3 in Everton's favour, and Everton's producing the only shot on target of the first half in the final minute of regulation time when Darren Randolph, tonight's standing keeper, brought in at the very last minute to replace Lucas Fabianski, who pulled up during the pre-match warm-up, making that save from Bernard or Bernard, however we're christening him tonight, to deny Everton and keep West Ham on level terms at half-time. Rio, decent first half for West Ham, that all things considered.
Yeah, I mean, it's a place we don't get a lot of joy at. They're flying high in the Premier League. Ancelotti's got them organised. But we've been a better side, you know. For a team that's played, this is now its 3rd game in 6 days.
Yeah.
We look like we've got more energy. We've got more awareness. We've got more of everything about us. You've also got to factor in that we've lost our number 1 keeper in the warm-up. We almost lost our number 5 defender through a bizarre back pass kind of thing. But we've weathered the storm. We've more than mentioned them. We're the better side. And I'm really happy with that performance in the first half.
Yeah, good stuff. I mean, is this a game that... I mean, we saw it, didn't we, at St Mary's a couple of days ago, that we sort of weathered the storm for an hour or so, and in the last 15 or 20 minutes we were pushing on, and there was only really one side who was going to win it. Do you see David Moyes going for 3 points tonight, or do you think he's, you know, going to be more sort of concerned about just coming away with something from this game?
I don't think we've got the attacking options on the bench that we did the other night. I mean, look there. I mean, only Lanzini can really change a game in terms of playing the middle for like a bit more skillfully and eking out chances. Obviously, Antonio can come on and be a bit more bullish and a bit more ruthless.
Yeah.
And bring other players into the game. They're the only 2 real ways we can change it. We're not going to bring on players like we did the other night and change energy rate, are we? We're not going to bring players on and change the dynamic of the side. Only Antonio can really affect the way we set up with the players we've got. But, I mean, if I were Moyes, I'd be happy with a point. But, to be honest, 3's there for the taking. Now, we're a much better side. I'm looking at their bench, and apart from James, or Jim, or whatever you want to call him,
J-Rock,
I don't think they've got a lot there, really, have they? No? I mean, look at Tosin. He's the kind of the Antonio player, isn't he? But without the skill, yeah, and the unpredictability.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. Confident. Rio's confident. Gnome, are you as confident about the second half? Do you think we could perhaps go on and even record a reasonably rare win at Goodison Park?
It's entirely possible. We're playing well enough. We're certainly the equal of them. Just picking up on a couple of points Rio raised there, and we're talking about weathering the storm, and Rio said for the first hour. I thought that storm lasted no more than about 20 minutes. And after that, it was pretty similar to what we've got here. We haven't had a storm to weather here, really. That one shot, we've dealt with corners pretty comfortably up to that, the few that they've had. And, it's very, very even Stevens at the moment. So, certainly, you have to say all three results are on here. I'm just trying to find out if we had any update on Fabianski there. And I've just kept having a quick skim through the BBC feed, and it's nobody said it. There's not a word about what's happened to Fabianski. The interview with Moyes before the game, why is Ryan Fredericks missing? And the answer was one word: COVID.
Yeah. And
when Moyes was asked were any other players affected, he said it's a private matter. I've given you one name already. So maybe we have a COVID issue with Fabianski as well as.
That's a bit touchy. That's a bit of a touchy answer, that, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I'm reading it straight off the screen. I didn't hear it at the time because I was getting myself set up here, sort of thing. I'm trying to do three things at once, but the sort of one-word answer. On paper, it looks very touchy, doesn't it?
I mean, Mike Larkin is saying Mike Larkin's saying in the YouTube feed that Fabianski hurt his knee taking a practice goal kick. I mean, we can't verify that.
Fair enough.
I don't know if Mike can perhaps clarify where he got that from, but I think Pinky's right, isn't it? This is a very strange thing for Moyes to say, if that is, or those are indeed the circumstances.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, just coming in again. Sorry, apologies. Yeah. Mike saying again they showed it on the telly. So,
oh right, they did. Right, fine. As I say, because I didn't have the volume up, and so wasn't really sort of as up to speed as perhaps one ought to have been.
No worries at all. Mike saying also that was on NBC Sports, which is perhaps why we might not have seen it. So, Mike, thank you very much for keeping us abreast.
Thank you, Mike.
Of the news there. Chris, Happy New Year to you too, buddy. SH from the forum popping in to say hello at halftime. Happy New Year to you and yours. Trust you had a good evening last night, quiet as it may have been. Sam K saying it's a good performance, looking solid at the back. The only area we need to improve in is in Everton's box. We've either held onto the ball for too long instead of shooting or just made the wrong decision. Pinky, good first half so far. Declan Rice, we spoke about Declan Rice earlier on. Him and Souček might not have been particularly outstanding in the last 2 or 3 games. More so better at Southampton than perhaps against Brighton and Palace. Look really good tonight, I've thought so far, both of them.
Outstanding. I mean, absolutely outstanding. And I'm going to say something here now about Declan Rice, which old timers will probably laugh at. I think he's the best midfielder we've had since Bonds. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. When you take in his ability to get around the pitch, receive the ball from a teammate, redistribute it, win challenges on the deck and in the air.
Yeah,
I think he's got everything in his locker, Declan Rice, and he is a superb player and is playing well tonight. You spoke earlier about would we make changes and go for it? The changes I wouldn't make, I wouldn't take off either Fornals or Bowen tonight. Because I wouldn't trust the players that would come on for them. The changes that I'd be likely to make, first change, probably Lanzini on for Benrahma, and then maybe 10 minutes after that, Antonio on for Haller. He might get particularly creative and bring on Antonio for Benrahma and try and have a go with Antonio and Haller on the pitch at the same time. But
yeah. I
think this is a game we could win, providing we don't bring on Yarmo, because I think, Richarlison, who's done nothing, thus far this evening, really, is a player that could hurt us in the blink of an eye. So I'd be reluctant to change anything behind what I call the Haller Benrahma area. I'd leave that exactly as is because it is functioning well. So it's only those 2 players I'd look to make any kind of a change on this evening. But yes, certainly Declan Rice is playing well this evening. Souček is having a good, competent game as well. And it's just the fact that they've both got a bit of physicality about them.
Yeah.
And we have lacked that for season after season after season.
Yes, we have.
And you know, we've fixed that, then suddenly we don't look easy beats anymore. Strange, that, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you made the point, I think, quite correctly, that the whole four in that midfield, excusing Benrahma, have been excellent. I mean, we spoke about Bowen and Fornell's working incredibly hard to assist Kufal and Aaron Cresswell defensively, and yeah, they've certainly been solid in the middle. So good stuff. Just looking at the bench quickly, Randolph, of course, isn't on the bench anymore. He was supposed to be on, but started the game, replaced by David Martin at the very last minute. Ben Johnson, Issa Diop, Fabian Balbuena, Mark Noble, Manuel Lanzini, Robert Snodgrass, Andre Yarmolenko, and Mike Antonio are our substitutes tonight. Rio, we haven't delved into the KUMB.com forum match thread since half-time. There's a mixed, there was some optimism before the game, and then, of course, Fabianski got injured, and that kind of changed things a little bit. What's the view now at half-time?
Yeah, everyone seems rather happy, and rightly so. The only person really taking a little bit of criticism is, unsurprisingly, Sebastian Haller. He's actually been criticised for his honesty, because there was a chance he got fouled around about the half-hour mark. He stayed on his feet. Adrian Hammers put, there's a challenge in the box against our player. He stayed on his feet. If that was Grealish, that was a penalty. Stewie Wonders put, Haller is so frustrating. He just doesn't seem to anticipate getting the ball. His hold-up play has been much better today, but he's got to do more of it, particularly when you get a chance like that. He's just far too slow. Mm-hmm. Briz, who's moonlighting on the forum tonight, Davies has played Benrahma out the game. Benrahma's bottled every single tackle, Rice back to his best. Wolf 359 has got on the opposite end of the spectrum. I'm liking Benrahma's movement. He seems very intelligent, just needs some others on his wavelength. And Junko Partners put, I'm just glad we more than matched them so far. Thought we were due a spanking, but aside from the flurry of corners, they haven't troubled us. We need to work more on troubling them in the second half, though. So, just one last thing. Bubbles 1966, but it's even, it's cagey, it's unremarkable.
Pretty good summary, I think, of the entire first half there. Thank you, Rio. No, we spoke about Benrahma midway through the half. I thought he was doing reasonably well. What are your views? I mean, he's kind of a Marmite sort of player, isn't he? Some people love him, and some people just don't think he's really up to it. What's your views on his performance so far tonight?
Speaking as probably the one person in the universe who apparently is completely indifferent either way to Marmite, he's had a few good, promising touches tonight. A couple of times where he's managed to wriggle through and get a bit of a run on. It's as I mentioned the other night, the final ball needs work. We saw a couple of times the other night where he was bursting forward and then went to play the ball out wide, and the whoever was coming up with him, it might be Cresswell or whoever, would have to sort of check their run a little bit, and that needs a bit of work. And there's a couple of times where the ball's played to him, where he picks up the ball and you can see his mind's racing away as to what the hell am I going to do with this?
Yeah. And
by the time his feet catch up with his brain, it's been nicked off him. So, it needs to be a little bit more sort of better with his anticipation when the ball's played into him. There was one classic there where it was played into him and he was on the edge of the box. And a good player, as that ball's coming in, knows roughly what he's going to do with that, whether it's going to be, if he's going to try and make the space for a shot, how he's going to do that. It looked, and maybe doing him a disservice, but it looked from this distance that decision-making process didn't start till the ball arrived at his feet.
Okay.
And it's all really well. We've all done the thing where we're looking up to play the ball away and somebody nicks it, but there's got to be some sort of balance there. But it's a few encouraging touches. I wouldn't say it's been a world beater, but maybe it'll come good second half. Like
Yeah,
Pink,
okay,
I
I
wouldn't
mean-
make any immediate changes unless anybody's knackered at the moment, by the way.
Okay. Well, the second half is moments away. The players are re-emerging from the tunnel. Pinky, let's just have a come
You're
to you
ahead of me.
quickly before we do that for a quick look. There's a first. Let's for a quick view at Grand Old Team to see what the Everton fans are saying at half time.
It's 80% despondent now. Huge criticism of a lack of movement in their forward players. Lack of creativity, is the most used phrase in there. Every single one of them is crying out for Jim Rodriguez to come on. But in fairness to them, they are all, to a man, making a point, to a man and woman on there making a point, that a David Moyes team is not going to be easy to break down. They know that because they've looked at it for many a season themselves. And I take that as a compliment to our manager and our work rate amongst our players tonight, because we haven't just let them steamroll us.
Yeah.
And, fair play.
West Ham will, of course, be attacking at the end with that fabulous flag behind it, Pinky, in the second half.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, what are they thinking? Seriously. We've had a few Everton supporters on the YouTube tonight, I've seen, and a club like Everton Football Club having to do that or choosing to do that. Nah, not for my money. You've seen the mugs over at Stamford Bridge doing it for the last decade since the Russian turned up.
Yeah.
And it's embarrassing. Everton joining in, nah, seriously, poor form. Poor.
I think the nearest we came at West Ham was when the club encouraged all the independent content providers to produce their own flags at some point.
They've actually got a 65-foot by 45-foot Mark Noble banner of mine sat in the offices somewhere that has been seen precisely once as testimonial, which I'm unable to actually recover from the club at the minute for some strange reason. I don't know if they're not answering my calls much these days, but it would appear not. So, there you go.
There it is. If anyone can help with the recovery of Pinky's 65-foot Noble flag, do let us know.
Charge them rent. Charge them rental of it, because no doubt they'll think about charging you for storage. We're underway anyway on my feed. Anybody else?
Oh, you're ahead of me again.
All right. Well, I've got 45, 14, 15, 16 now. So
Okay.
nothing much happening. Ball played up in the air. Everton now bring the ball down. They're on the attack slightly. Ball's played spread out to the right-hand side. But again, familiar pattern where it's gone out to the sides. The player looks up, finds nothing doing ahead of him, and it goes back to the halfway line. So there was a stat they had at half time which suggested that Everton, as they played the ball in the box, and Randolph was a bit late in coming out there, and it looked like he might not get there, but he's punched it away, and it's Fornals plays it back and Cresswell plays it long. Everton coming back now. I'll get back to that stat in a minute. Yeah, I think Randolph didn't come off his line very quickly there, and was forced to punch rather than gather, as Benrahma does well to wriggle out. And we're coming away with the ball now. Rice back out to Haller out left, plays the ball out left to Fornals. Fornals plays, that wasn't a bad ball from Fornals, just cut out along the ground. That would have been interesting had it got through. I think Benrahma was there on the edge of the box. Fornals again, back to Cresswell. Fornals, Cresswell, Rice doing some work up there. Finds Haller in some space, who plays the ball, spreads it out wide to Dawson, who is forced to give the ball away in the end there, but Ogbonna tidies up and puts the ball out. Now, the stat I was going to mention was there was a stat about number of passes, which suggested that Everton had something like 100 more passes than we did. I can't remember the exact figures, but as if that was somehow sort of indicative of some form of dominance. But 95 of those passes have been back to the back four and playing across the halfway line.
Yeah.
yeah, so as they give the ball away now, hang on, we're on the ball now. Bowen looking for help as Kufal comes up. Ball's played down the line to Kufal, but it's basically eclipsed the defender and free kick given. So anyway,
Darren Randolph, Rio. You know, we said it at the start. He's a fantastic shot stopper, great one-on-one, but he's always had that little bit of indecision about him, isn't he? You know, on crosses and okay, it's not a cross, but it's a high ball into the box, and we've seen it again there, haven't we?
Yeah, he doesn't fill me with confidence. He didn't the first time around. He hasn't learned, as you say, great shot stopper. I mean, how old is he now? It must be in early 30s. If he hasn't learned to dominate his box now, he never is going to, is he?
Mm.
And he was known as Flappy Daz in his first spell. And the only thing he makes flap at the moment is my backside every time the ball goes in the air, because he just terrifies me at times.
He should have been straight off his line to gather that, because
question.
That was his ball all the way through, and he didn't. And when he finally came out, as Everton balls played outright.
Yeah,
I
saw him do that on the first day. His first ever game for West Ham. He played in a friendly at Southend. It was Dimitri Payet's debut as well. And we conceded 2 goals from crosses, and he essentially just dropped them in. And Pinky nodding his head in agreement there, and nothing changed from that moment. It was kind of like the cast was set. You know, that's been Darren Randolph ever since. Pinky, pretty much.
Yeah, and I'm firmly with Brian Clough on this one. You know, which, you know, if a player can't trap a ball by the time he reaches me, I can't teach him. And I think certainly with goalkeepers, you know, by the time they're at this level, Darren Randolph, we certainly when he rejoined us the second time, we knew exactly what we were getting.
Yeah,
he's not going to improve at the age that he's joined us. So the technical faults in his game are there forever. And you just have to live with them and say, how much of your budget do you want to spend on a backup keeper? That's really what the question is at West Ham.
Yeah.
And we've got a chairman that resents paying the number 1 keeper very much money, you know, let alone the backup. And therefore you get what the budget will fund ultimately. That's the long and the short of it.
Yeah, very much so. And so let's hope he does okay. Of course, thrust into the team at the last possible moment tonight, Gnome, and must be difficult, I guess, if you're a professional. It doesn't matter whether you're a goalkeeper or playing elsewhere in the field. You don't have the time to adjust mentally and prepare for the match.
Yeah, it's not easy. Pinky's point about not wishing to pay for keepers. I've never heard it confirmed, but so as a long ball's played up towards Haller, who doesn't actually get anything on it, so we can carry on. I wonder how much of the fact we got Randolph back might have been down to the fact that we were still owed money for him, perhaps.
Yeah.
And it meant not shelling out.
100%.
I've never seen that confirmed anywhere, but it's always been the suspicion as our mate Bernard trips himself up, but Benrahma can't take the ball in his stride and puts Everton back on the front foot again. That was rather amusing from Bernard. It was managed to tackle himself somehow. Sigurdsson puts an interesting ball in, but Souček's there to mop things up, and Bowen finishes the clearance. Benrahma doesn't get that all. Well, Benrahma's won the ball there. No, he hasn't. There was lots of loose balls there that Benrahma might have got on the end of, and in the end, he didn't get on the end of any of them.
Really indicative that, though, Gnome, of West Ham's effort tonight. You know, the fact that some great defensive work there, and really putting Everton under pressure, not giving them a sniff at anything at the moment.
Well, Everton just had a couple of shots, as you say that. Yeah, Davies, I think it was. Sorry, Carlson rather. Found some space at the edge of the box, brought it down. Didn't get the shot was blocked, and Pickford's had to come now and clear along. There seems to be a little bit more pace and urgency from Everton at the start of the second half, which may be of some concern. They should be running a bit faster, but having said that, it now goes into let's play it back to the halfway line.
They've moved up the field, Gordon. You know, that every player is 10 yards further forward than they were.
Yeah,
in the first half.
As Kevin Friend decides to get in on the act, but plays a 1-2 with an Everton player.
Yeah, I think it's a bit harsh. It kicked it in from 3 yards away.
I know. It's always funny when that happens, though.
Yes. You see that quite often, don't you? It's surprising how often you do see that, actually.
Well, I mean, he let play go on. I mean, if it does interrupt a pass, then the laws are at the moment that the game's stopped. You get an uncontested drop ball to the player who passed. As Rice steps in again.
And Souček.
We've got to be better holding on the ball, though. I haven't said it this game, have I? But I've just said it now. Again, Cresswell, though, does well there, and Rice brings the ball away. Looking for help, he's making a decent foray into Everton territory. 4 nails on the left, tries to clip it through, but it's just blocked. So throw it to West Ham, deep in Everton territory, as we see.
Antonio warming up now on the sidelines, we can see.
Yeah, the man without the water bottle at the moment. He's having a quick run around. Benrahma now lays it off to Cresswell. Plays a square ball into Haller, who's tries to let off first time. Benrahma does well to keep it in.
Go on.
It's bobbling around in the penalty area there, but clever little flick from Calvert-Lewin. But Souček read the flick. It was a good little flick from Calvert-Lewin.
It was. I was going to come into that there actually for just a second. No, I'm sorry, but Souček and Rice, Pinky, we spoke about them in the first half. In the last 60 to 90 seconds there, 2 or 3 excellent examples of just what we were talking about, nipping into win challenges and break up Everton play.
Absolutely. It's priceless. It's absolutely priceless. And that's the difference between teams being able to tear up field. I mean, Rice on the ball now. The ball in. Oh, do you know what? With an extra inch in his todger, that's a goal. I mean, I'm not being funny. He was inches away from that.
That's a fine free kick as well. Rice just peeled himself off away from Bernard there, and not a spectacular free kick, but played sort of into the left-hand side of the box along the ground, and clever free kick. As Benrahma now tries to feed through, bit unlucky there, tried to feed. I think it was Bowen running through there.
Yeah, shades almost there. I don't know if you're up with us yet, Rio, but shades of Paul Gascoigne against Germany in the semi-final of the European Championships. The other side of the goal, of course, from that low cross from Rice to Haller, almost getting in at the far post.
You just done a spoiler there. I'm about to watch it now, I believe.
You'll enjoy it. You'll enjoy it.
Heart. Yeah. Oh, I've just seen it. Yeah, that is absolutely reminiscent, wasn't it? Absolutely identical, virtually.
Yeah,
it's a good spell for West Ham because Everton are not keeping the ball well. Bowen did really good interception there, and put us on the front foot again as Rice is looking for an opening. Plays it across to Dawson, who plays it's a poor ball from Dawson though, and plays it in the touch with Kufal, perhaps wanting that one to feet for once. So that little further play. There was some good little. Antonio's got his shirt on, so we're going to see him very shortly. So he got 50.
Comes off.
I think the medical team said 15 minutes in the last game. They've obviously said half an hour in this one, and we're looking forward to that. He's got his shirt on, although as we always say. Good
stuff. Here he comes, Rio. We were talking about Haller, but it looks like he possibly might be going off now. About the right time to bring Michail Antonio on for you, Rio?
Yeah, I think just over 30 minutes. Hopefully, he won't do himself damage. Enough time to make a big impact. We just mentioned how well Rice and Souček are playing. It enables the players around them, the likes of Fornells and Bowen, to get more involved and more creative. And their energy, the imperious nature of Souček and Rice in the centre, Antonio up front, heading everything up, bringing more players into play, a bit more of a cutting edge. I think we'll be fine. I think this game's ours. I hate to be presumptuous, but I think we're going to win this.
Well, Everton's certainly not doing enough at the moment to win it themselves. And, you know, I suppose the more time goes on, the more frustrated the home side are likely to get. Pinky, nearly an hour gone. Who do you see coming off it? Do you think this is a straight Haller for Antonio swap?
I'm not so sure, actually. I think he might hook Benrahma.
Okay.
And then put Haller behind Antonio.
Okay.
Strangely. So, you know, we'll see. But Benrahma's getting knocked off the ball quite easily. I mean, for all his
fouled there, hasn't he?
For all his effort and what have you. You know, he'll get a gold star from me tonight for effort. But this is a tough old league, and you've got to.
It's Haller.
His Haller has gone. Okay.
Yeah, Haller's got ashore. So Antonio has a quick word with Bowen there, and on he is.
So a straight strop. It's a straight swap.
To say.
It's 24 hours since I had a drink now. West Ham with the first substitution of the day. Antonio on for Haller. Haller worked hard, but once again a little bit frustrating. How do you sum up his night, Gnome?
Hang on a second.
That's a free kick.
There's a free kick there. Sorry, it just came to me as it was a lovely move that worked the ball out to Kufal. And as he's sort of bore in on goal, let's have a look at it now. He's gone past Godfrey. Godfrey tugs him back, and then he just collides with. Well, Godfrey's tugged him back there. That's I think where the foul is. But then as that is number 4 for Everton. I can't remember who that is, but he's come in and Godfrey's got the deserved yellow because he's pulled him back. Holgate came across and collided with Kufal as he made the sort of semi-legitimate clearance thing. Kufal's sort of up and sort of doing a sort of Quasimodo impersonation. He's hunched over and limping.
Everton
now very dangerous position.
Grand old team. Absolute pelters. They're getting slaughtered by their support at this point in time.
Cresswell's on the ball. As from our point of view, right-hand side of the Everton box. It's a very dangerous position.
Big chance for West Ham.
Yeah.
Set piece, we love them.
Yeah. Kevin Friend is having a word with just about everybody in the box to make sure they behave themselves. And
Souček at the far post.
Why not have a shot, Cresswell?
Why not from there?
Yeah, it's one of those ones where you could do a number of things, but
Benrahma hanging out on the edge of the box, interestingly, on this one.
Yeah. Although he is covered there, but Cresswell has the shot. Pickford somehow keeps it out. Maybe our first on target, but it was fine effort from Cresswell. And Pickford sort of punched it away, not very convincingly. Ball's come through at Benrahma on the left now. He's bearing into the box, checks back, tries to get across it, gets another chance, and it's another corner to West Ham.
Good spell.
Yeah. I mean, it looked spectacular from Pickford, but I don't think it looked that convincing. It was a shot from, he sort of palmed it away.
Palmed it away, didn't he, really? Yeah, but I mean, you called it, Gnome. I mean, you know, a left footer there. You've got the angle to swing it into the far post.
Yeah. So Cresswell's got, with his foot, that's not a bad place to be shooting from. He's on the ball again now as he's going to take the corner. And with people running around the box, ball's played in, doesn't beat the first one. Effort from Fornals, dealt with easily from by Pickford, but it was possibly on target. Let's have a look, see if that was going anywhere.
Yeah, that was going in.
Yeah, it's going in. Good shot. Comfortable save, but needed to be made. So 2 on target for West Ham in a couple of minutes.
Yeah, good stuff. West Ham beginning to exert a little bit of dominance, perhaps. Rio, once again, that introduction of Michail Antonio, giving everyone a bit of a lift, it seems, on the pitch.
Yeah, it was noticeable the other night. The players reacted to Michail coming on, and he gave the whole team a lift.
Yeah.
And I think he's so vital to the way we play, isn't he? But I also think that the energy that Bowen and Fornals provide to this team is absolutely vital. You know, we can't play the way that we do without Pablo Fornals and Bowen at full fitness, pelting down and putting the work rate in they do. It's vital to the way we operate.
Yeah, very much so. And they've worked so hard tonight, as we've touched upon already. West Ham now leading in terms of shots on target. That's only one for Everton so far, with those two efforts within a couple of minutes. Gnome, we're inside the last half an hour now.
Shot there for Everton. Ball played into the box to our mate Bernie there, I think that was. Where Cresswell didn't get out quickly. There was not an awful lot of marking there, but it was fairly easy shot along the ground for it was Coleman actually got into the box.
Yeah. First time we've seen that. First time we've seen Coleman get that far forward, and Fornell's not back to pick him up. Yeah.
But Coleman basically, it was effectively a back pass to his international teammate and Randolph. So, just watching the game here, as I say. They're a little bit scrappy, but that last couple of minutes, as we win the ball back, now this is promising. Fornells has got acres of space to run into, plays the ball out wide to Bowen. First touch isn't great. He's looking, clips across.
You must score from there.
You've got to do better than that.
It's another Fornells header. It's yet another Fornells header.
Yeah. He's not the greatest in the air, bless him, but lovely, promising move. Bowen's first touch was
heading, that's the goal, and little Pablo Fornells, it's a bit of a feeble header. He's missed the target.
Do you know what? Haller's there. That's an overhead kicking in.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good point, actually. Unfortunately.
Everton substitutions. Sigurdsson, who's been very quiet, is off. Gomez is on. And our mate Bernard is off. And our friend James is on, as it says on the back of his shirt. So
double substitution. Yeah, Ancelotti clearly not liking what he's been seeing for the last few minutes, and especially since Michail Antonio was introduced to the game, and a double substitution, Rio. Not really surprising, I guess, because Everton are beginning to lose their grip on this one a little bit, aren't they? Despite that shot just then.
Tries to curl one inside the far post. Pickford's fairly comfortable save, but again, Antonio making stuff happen, and he's just run 40 yards back to a referee would have given a free kick. He's playing advantage from the arm signal, but it looked a decent tackle, but he's run all the way back to do that. So anyway, Everton on the attack now. Long cross loops over.
I mean, what we're seeing now, game after game, when Antonio comes on to replace Haller, it's almost as if David Moyes has said, "Look, Antonio, I know it's not really your job to show him how to do it, because he is earning huge money, but could you just demonstrate to Seb Haller what the job is, please? And hopefully he'll watch the game tomorrow, when he's sat on the sofa and see what a striker's supposed to be doing, because we're seeing more application, effort, graft from Antonio, in 5 minutes than we saw in an hour from Seb Haller. And he either doesn't know the job, Haller, or just doesn't want to do the job. I'm not sure which it is. I'm really not sure.
Yeah, it's,
Everton having a bit of a spell now. And that's an interesting attempt at keeping the ball in from Bowen there. Dawson's headed it out for a corner effectively, but Bowen's had a wild swing at it. It's just made sure it was a corner.
Kudos there, Gnome, to Ogbonna for that, just hurling himself in the way of that shot and getting ahead to that ball moments before that.
Anyway, corner to Everton now. It's played in, and it's headed away, and there's a bit of argy-bargy, as the late Bill McLaren would have said there, and free kick to West Ham.
And there, Gnome, another example. I hate to, bang on about this, but Randolph, the ball's delivered inside the 6-yard box.
Yeah,
I think you want
he's
your
not dominating there, is he?
Those, don't you? You want him to come and at least make an effort, if not claim that ball.
Yeah. I mean, that's just seeing it there. That's absolutely superb play from Ogbonna.
Yeah,
he's got up there. He's headed that clear, and then he's been clattered in the back from after the ball's been cleared. It's a great header from Ogbonna, but you want your goalkeeper to be shouting and clearing people out from that.
Yes, you certainly
that
do.
Really.
67.5 minutes gone. It's still Everton nil, West Ham United nil. West Ham looking a little bit more threatening as in this second half than we were in the first. And the introduction of Michail Antonio making us look more so. Rio, one player I wanted to touch upon. He's had a really fantastic year at Everton. Another former Watford player, I think, Richarlison. We've barely heard his name tonight, have we? What's going on there?
It's the same as Calvert-Lewin. I mean, Calvert-Lewin, one of the top scorers in Premier League. I think I've heard his name mentioned once.
Yep, fair
but
play.
But the pair of them have been, we've absolutely nullified them, haven't we? We haven't afforded them an opportunity to get into the game. Everton's midfield has been absolutely outshone by our lot. Ross and Souček have absolutely cut off any kind of supply line. Down the flanks, we defended superbly well. We haven't allowed it. They are two of the most rated players in the Premier League this season. They even have a sniffer in this game. And all to the credit of our players and the way that we've worked so hard in this match.
Yeah, very much so. I mean,
I know I keep going on about it.
So, sorry, I was going to say we've spoken a few times about Angelo Ogbonna, but Craig Dawson, once again, quietly going about his business effectively and doing another really good job in there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, I've not heard his name hardly mentioned since that incident in the first half, but that's a mark of how well he's playing now. He's quietly doing his job. He looks like he's been playing for West Ham all his life, not just the last two games. It's a quietly efficient performance. That's what you want from your defenders, Yeah. But we've marked Calvert-Lewin, one of the top scorers in the Premier League, complete out this game. He hasn't had a sniff. Richarlison, not one opportunity. We defended so well today. It's unreal. Following up from the game against Southampton, we've had 3 games, 6 days, and we've defended imperiously for 2 of those.
Yeah, very much so. We've just seen a side Benrahma concede possession rather
cheaply, wasn't it?
In the deep in the Everton territory with Aaron Cresswell woefully out of position in support, but fortunately we've regained possession and Darren Randolph clears the ball long. It's Everton nil, West Ham United nil as we approach the final 20 minutes of the game. A hello to Sean West. Good to see you on the stream, Sean. Sean also says how far we have come. In my 40 years of following West Ham, Everton away was always a nightmare. Today we are competitive. We certainly are, Sean. We're putting in a very good show so far, and hopefully there's more to come. Pinky, 20 minutes to go. It's very finely balanced, this one. How do you see it going?
I mean, it's the classic game where it could go either way, because I think we've controlled very large portions of the game. I think we have looked like we've played most of the football tonight, if I'm being honest. But it's the classic where you do everything right and get mugged in the 92nd minute by a moment of magic or by an individual error. And that would be my only concern of them. We really need a goal. Our play tonight deserves one. On the balance of play, perhaps we just haven't been in the opposition box quite enough to say, we thoroughly deserve it. But we've been good tonight. And the only thing that's going to undo us is a moment of magic or an individual error, and I think it's quite telling that thus far Moyes isn't risking putting on Yarmolenko for a game like this, and I think that tells us that he fears that he might be the player that could cause harm at either end. So I think we will see another change. I think we'll see Lanzini on shortly for Benrahma. But I think then that'll be that's all the changes we're going to see tonight, but could go either way. I'm hoping it will come to us. And can we get the ball to Antonio in the Everton box? That's the key here.
Yeah. Well, we said we haven't mentioned Richarlison. He's just dived to win Everton a free kick, and Bowen did stick a leg out, but didn't get anywhere near him or the ball, and it's just it was going out of play. It's a dangerous position as well, but that was a dive.
Yeah, West Ham with that one-man wall again of side Benrahma.
And the cross comes in. It's come out, and that Rice again. Sort of, Fornals, sorry. Putting a block in. Kufal tidies up. We could have a
Brilliant.
bit of a break on it if we can get the ball out, but unfortunately it's blocked.
Well played, West Ham.
Yeah. But well defended. Two more subs for West Ham, and there's
He's making a liar of me. He's bringing Yarmo on.
Fornals and Bowen are the two to come ashore here.
Boise, I think Yarmo tonight.
Clearly, Mr. Moyes think the game's there to be won, because those aren't defensive-minded replacements by any stretch of the imagination.
And again, that's a great point, Gordon, because here we are, we're away from home at Everton, who are above us in the table, and the manager is making positive substitutions to try and win the game. You know, and I'm willing to bet I'll look at the forum tomorrow, and it'll be, negative stuff. And I'm thinking, what does he have to do to actually demonstrate he will try and win matches? Because there's not a snowball's chance in hell I'd have put Yarmolenko on that field tonight. Not a chance.
Well,
what does it?
It'll be. I mean, he's damned if he does and damned if he doesn't. Because we're going to win this, it'll be great substitutions. If we lose, it'll be terrible substitutions. What was he thinking of? So,
what do you make of those, Gnome? I mean, you can sort of understand the lands. No, I'm just saying you can understand the Lanzini for Benrahma one. I think that's fairly obvious and a good call by Pinky. I'm not so sure about Yarmolenko coming in for Fornals, who's worked like a Trojan to help Cresswell there tonight. And maybe he's just tired. Maybe that's just maybe the reason for that. But what do you make of that Yarmolenko sub? No, that's for you.
So I'm just watching again. Davis had just fallen over the ball, but Benrahma was close enough for the ref to say that's a foul, which it wasn't. He was on the floor already. But again, I think we've got to take into account, and we've hammered this point about the fact that this is Everton give the ball away. I'll come back to you on that because it's promising. Yarmolenko looking for a bit of help and eventually gets clipped, I think. Free kick. I mean, it's the third game in 5 minutes for us, sort of thing. So I think those substitutions, the mindset on that will be that they will know which of the players are fitter, which of the players are more fatigued.
Yeah.
They monitor these things, don't they? They have those little bleeper things on their vests. So anyway, ball played in. Bono's up there, doesn't win it. Cresswell keeps it alive, and we've got Souček there, tries to do a little back flick, but doesn't get anything out of it. And that's a tackle missed really by Lanzini. And Everton have got players over here. But that's Benrahma of all people comes back and nicks it off.
Actually, I think it was Yarmolenko. You've got the credit there for holding him up initially. Yeah, credit to Yarmolenko.
Yeah. West Ham on the attack now. Square ball in. Benrahma's looking, plays the ball inside the fullback. Not enough again. It's that final pass from Benrahma that Yarmolenko was in a good position there, but the ball wasn't good enough, and his distribution needs work.
Pinky, West Ham sort of cut open for the first time there tonight on that counter. Maybe West Ham clearly going for 3 points here tonight, but could it be to our folly?
There's always that risk, but fortune favours the bold, and I don't think there'll be that many teams go to Goodison Park this year and come away with 3 points.
Good position there.
So if we could do it, that perhaps makes up for the fact that, I think we all felt we dropped points against Brighton, did okay against Saints. Yeah. And if we can pick a win up here, that then you say in that sort of 7-day period, that would be a terrific points haul from those games. So fair play to the manager here. Is there a West Ham United supporter out there who's brave enough to say, take the point? Surely we've all got to be saying, go for it.
There's thank you, Pinky. There's a yellow card coming up for Davies, I think it is. It was just hacked Antonio his ankles. I mean, it's I think Rio, I don't know if you've seen that one yet, but it's I think as far as booking goes, that's fairly nailed on that one.
Yeah, I'm still yet to
Man
see
bun.
it. Still about 8 years behind everyone else. But I'll take your word for it. Clear red from me. Clear red. Send him off. Ban him for 5 games.
West Ham with a free kick in a dangerous position, some 35 yards from Everton's goal on the left-hand side, I presume. Rice and Cresswell having a look at it, looking to send one in. We've lost Gnome, hopefully just momentarily, so I'll keep up with this as the free kick's floated in by Rice. And it's a poor delivery, Pinky. That one straight to the first man. I'm
glossing over that. That was, we'll give him that tonight just to prove he's human. Because that is literally the first thing he's done wrong all evening.
Yeah, absolutely. He's had a really, really good game. And I think, looking at this, Pink, I think it's fair to say that this is our best performance of the Christmas period.
Oh, undoubtedly. I mean, opposition teams will be looking at this now and go, hang on, West Ham, aren't they the team that's supposed to be full of people that aren't that fit and jog around and all the rest? Third game in a week, and the application from our midfield tonight, the work rate, I've never seen anything like it. Seriously, it's been terrific work rate from West Ham tonight, and you could say, the contrast with, dare I say it, 15 months ago couldn't be starker, and it's very, very telling as to players that are getting games these days at West Ham United and players who aren't. And I'm afraid, not afraid, I'm pleased to say that the move to youth and midfield, you can really see it. They haven't got 100 years on the planet between them before the started tonight. Yeah, and that's the difference. As bit of a body check there on Cresswell, I felt, as he tried to go into the box, but we're on the ascendancy again here now. Rice on the ball, about 25 yards out, plays the ball square. Oh no, Yarmo, no showboating there, son. Was it Yarmo? Yeah, it was, I think, that was trying to do that. Lose the ball, and we tied up. Free kick to Everton in a dangerous spot here.
Once again, a clear free kick. I was just going to come back to the point you were making there, Pinky. You said it. I think it's also telling. We've just seen Calvert-Lewin replaced, a player who tore us apart when we came up here for the Carabao Cup earlier in the season. Taken off with 10 minutes to go and replaced by Dawson.
Yeah, and it says something. I think it was Dawson a Sam Allardyce signing for them. I think he was.
I think he was. And
that kind of tells the story, doesn't it? That the £11 million a year Carlo Ancelotti. Yes, that you didn't mishear that. £11 million a year. The manager is now selecting players off the bench that a previous manager signed, which it doesn't bode all that well. But they're in a good position here at the minute, Everton. Let's see what happens. Ball comes in, cleared away. Davis picks it up on the outside of the box, plays it back. It's hit and hope stuff now from Everton. Did I just hear someone shout, "Put Ferguson on the pitch"? That's what they were reduced to at this point in time.
Yeah, I think he might have been in a good position to get on the end of that one there. A ball hurled into the box and it's headed out. No danger at all for West Ham. Gnome's having connection problems, we learn. And we hope to have him back very soon, as certainly before the end of the game anyway. Everton 0, West Ham United 0. We are inside the last 10 minutes. Can the Hammers snatch all 3 points from this one? It would be our first win of the Christmas period. But Rio, are you in agreement with Pinky there that this is the best performance we've come up with, for weeks, really?
By some margin. We've worked hard. We've defended well. We've looked threatening on the break. And let's not forget...
Declan Rice, take a bow, son. He's just sprinted full tilt to get back, make the interception and, snuff out another Everton attack. Outstanding, he's played every minute for a year and he's doing that in the 82nd minute, having played 3 times in a week. Seriously.
And he's on the ball again now, trying to fashion a chance for West Ham. Ball's played out on the left to Lanzini, who looks up and finds Antonio. Antonio looking to play Lanzini back in. He does. Lanzini now on the edge of the box, looking for an opportunity to shoot. He's now going to play it out across the pitch as West Ham look to build a little bit more slowly. Souček plays the ball out wide, and I'm not quite sure what's happened there, but it's gone out of play. Rio, yeah, you were just saying that you agree with Pinker. You feel it's the best we played for a while.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to factor in like the amount of games you played in the space of a week, the quality of the opposition, who they're tailed off a little bit in recent weeks, but let's not forget, people are lauding them over how well Ancelotti has bloody shaped them into a top 4 side at one stage.
Yeah.
Well, we've made them look pretty ordinary, no? They look like the away side. They've been so they're just heavily reliant on work rate, and we've more than matched them in that department as well. We made what was like not too long ago top 4 side look incredibly ordinary.
Yes, so you kind of Gnome is back with us now. Good to see you back, Gnome.
That's right. I don't know what happened there. I rebooted everything and it seems to be working now. Sorry.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, we're inside the last 7 minutes as Thomas Souček plays the ball down the line for Michail Antonio. West Ham looking to break again. It's we were just saying, Gnome, that both guys at West Ham are surely going to win a free kick there, but no, not given. We were just saying that it's the best performance West Ham have produced this Christmas period. Yeah,
definitely. Because we've been okay for 83 minutes or whatever it is now. A horrible challenge by Davis on Antonio there, just as my feed went, which got a deserved yellow. It was, this is dangerous. Chipped in by Davis. It's all scrambly a bit, but Ogbonna finally gets it clear and he's failed in the process.
Great stuff from Ogbonna again. And
again, it's been superb.
Oh, they have. But we were saying a few moments ago, weren't we? Dawson hasn't really, taken much credit tonight, but second game in a row, he's been outstanding. Him and Ogbonna have never played together before that Southampton today. As Pinky said earlier, it looks like they've been playing together for a long, long time. Yeah,
it's good. It's a good partnership from the evidence we've seen of 2 games. It just makes that injury that Dawson seemed to have in the first half seems a long while ago now, just all the more mystifying because he's got to play better. So, anyway, we're on the ball now. Antonio's played the ball out just behind the run of Cresswell there. He's at the check. Rice is looking for somebody out wide, out on the right. Plays it in. Lanzini chips the ball in. Cresswell's line up for the rebound.
Yes!
No flag either. That's in. Yes.
There.
Souček, you beauty.
You can't say it hasn't been coming. West Ham United lead at Goodison Park, and it's Thomas Souček, and they're all just someone must have had a baby. It's all happening now. Everton 0, West Ham United 1. Pinky, it's been coming.
And thoroughly deserved. I think we've been the more positive team all evening, and boring West Ham. I mean, how many players have we got 20 yards from their goal? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, it's almost suicidal attacking. This is. You think I half expect to see Jimmy Glass coming up as our late replacement goalkeeper. We've been that positive. Outstanding there, and no more than we deserved. And
exactly.
Also,
that's the first goal of the year in the Premier League.
Oh, is it? Oh, there you go. Fantastic. Rio's just seen it. Obviously, we're seeing Rio belatedly enjoy that goal. Rio, we're crediting the players here. What about Davy Moyes making those 2 attacking substitutions a few minutes ago?
Yeah, I was incredibly worried. Losing the work rate of Bowen and Fornells at the same time. It's a masterstroke, isn't it? It's an absolute masterstroke. And this is so thoroughly deserved. It's unreal. We've made them look absolutely ordinary. And this is just desserts, isn't it? The amount of times we go to Goodison, we get absolutely stuffed. A lot of inept performances. Every time I've been up there, I've only seen the score 1 goal in about 8 attempts. This is just a joy for me. Absolute joy.
It is. It's a thoroughly professional performance. You know, just looking at that ball played in originally to Souček, did really well to get the shot away. Pickford saved well. I think Souček possibly, there was a little flick off, actually. I think I was going to do Cresswell a disservice saying that Souček put in a shot that was going well wide, but that might have been a defensive flick that was going to take it wide. Now Everton are coming back now, and obviously they've got to. But again, Benrahma sticks a foot in and puts the ball out for a throw in. So we were saying that people have been working hard and all that, which we have. And well, these last 3 minutes plus 3 stoppage substitutions, I think it's going to be 3 or 4 stoppage. We're going to have to redouble those efforts.
Yeah, 88 minutes gone. It's Everton 0, West Ham United 1. David Moyes making those attacking substitutions on 73 minutes, taking off the hard-working Fornals and Bowen, replacing them with Lanzini and Yarmolenko, and paying dividends just a few moments ago, with Thomas Souček scoring the first and hopefully the only goal of the game so far. Rio, I was just going to say there before, Gnome commented that it sounds like you're not the only one celebrating at your house. I think I can hear a few sh's going on around you.
To be honest, it was rather subdued compared to what I thought it was going to be, you know. But yeah, there's a few happy faces here.
Oh, good for you all. I'm glad you're all enjoying it. Is Steve with you again? Rio Junior, is he there in the crowd?
Oh, Rob, yeah, Rob's here. Rob's
Sorry,
still,
Rob, not Steve. Rob, you're Steve, of course. You should know that by now after 20 years.
Yeah, he's still here. He don't go back for another couple of weeks because obviously unis are shut and his job's also shut at the moment as well. So yeah, he's sitting there occupying the sofa and eating everything inside, basically.
We've just seen West Ham win a free kick there in the 90th minute. No doubt Yarmolenko will milk this one for all it's worth, Pinky, as the Hammers look to hold on to this slender lead.
Yeah, and you know what? This is all part of the professionalism. This is the stuff that we see the opposition do to us week after week. I'm not a big fan of it. You know, if you're injured, you're injured. But if you're not, get up and get on with the game. Because had we been there, you know, I'd have been stood there going, bloody hell, I've got a 250-mile drive home after this. So, you know, let's get the game won. But
it wasn't given as a free kick, incidentally.
No, indeed. But
did get caught.
You can't argue
on the head,
scoreline at the minute.
Yeah. Is that 3 stoppage? Yeah, 3 minutes of stoppage to endure. So Everton try and bring it forward. Again, it's having to be played along the halfway line. Again, that's good. That's good covering from West Ham. They try to play it between the lines, get a little bit of like that. That's gone though. That's poor from who was 16 there for Everton. They should have kept that in. That wasn't a difficult ball to keep in. Wasn't a great ball, but he should have kept it in. And that was Doucouré. Not complaining that he didn't, but. So we're sort of winding the clock down now.
Yeah, I suppose while nothing's happening, this would probably be an opportune moment to point out that not one of us predicted a West Ham win here tonight. And if that doesn't sum up, if that doesn't sum up West Ham, what possibly does? You know, we can't beat Palace or Brighton at home.
Well, we haven't won yet.
Well, no, of course not. But I'm assuming we're not going to lose now anyway. That would be pretty bad to lose this one. But regardless of the final score, I think the point that I'm trying to make is that it's been an absolutely exceptional performance by every single one of those 14 players that's been out there today. No.
Yeah, it has been superb. As Rice yet again.
Magic.
There's ball now. Antonio. Well, Yarmolenko got laid out there. Antonio's bearing down on goal. Cuts inside.
Where's Lanzini?
Cuts inside. Ref. Well, let's have a look at refs. He's given a goal kick. I thought he might have been. There might have been a foul there.
Antonio, you muppet, you've tripped over your own legs after a quite superb run, but you know.
Let's have a look here. Little touch there. Oh, no, he was an air shot. No, fair enough. That was a bit of an air shot, wasn't it? Yeah. Let's put it this way. Che Adams is probably thankful that he wasn't in that penalty box, because that would have been his head kicked out of the ground for the second time. Interesting, though, I think that they might be having a look at something. Yarmolenko seemed to be on the floor.
Yes, I was going to say that he was poleaxed, wasn't he? No, just in that build up there.
I think he's had a little. I think somebody's had a word. He's had a listen and nothing doing. I'm guessing, because he did have his finger to his ear for a second as Everton try and bring the ball forward, but Lanzini clears it down the line, and Rice is all the way up there, forces the back pass to Pickford, who's going to launch it long, presumably, longish. And again, ball comes down and we win it. Attempted header from. Oh, there you go. Great stop there by Lanzini to cut it out, and we bring the ball away. Game very stretched now, so I think Antonio may have been offside there as Benrahma tried to play it through. We've had the 3 minutes, and so it's I think Lanzini sort of then does another defensive clearance. Antonio picks it up, plays it inside to Rice, who's just going to go down the line now. He's looking for help, but he's not going to waste too much time looking. Oh, he's beaten David. No, he hasn't. Doesn't matter. It's it. Well played, West Ham. Well played, West Ham. Thoroughly professional performance. Well worth the 3 points. And well played.
Brilliant. It has finished at Goodison Park. Everton 0. West Ham United 1. An absolutely fantastic performance from the Hammers, and we're looking now at TV shots of a man who has absolutely run his socks off for 93 minutes and fully deserves that 3 points. West Ham's captain, Declan Rice, absolutely brilliant. One of 14 players who have been fantastic on the night. The night started off in the worst possible fashion for West Ham, with the news that Lucas Fabianski had pulled up during the pre-match warm-up and was replaced by Darren Randolph, coming in for his first start of the season. Randolph went on to have a pretty accomplished game, didn't really put a foot wrong, apart from perhaps one cross that he came out for that he didn't really deal with particularly well, but that would be, picking holes really in what was otherwise a decent performance. West Ham, absolutely brilliant. Holding Everton in the first half, the second half improving, bringing on, making the first change with Michail Antonio coming on a minute ahead of the hour mark for Sebastian Haller. And then David Moyes throwing caution to the wind effectively by taking off Pablo Fornals and Jared Bowen and throwing on Manuel Lanzini and Andrei Yarmolenko in the 73rd minute in what was clearly an attempt to win this game. And the gamble paid off, because in the 86th minute, Thomas Souček had a shot saved, only to see Aaron Cresswell shoot from the rebound, which spilled to Souček, who turned it into the net to score the only goal of the game and secure all 3 points for West Ham. It's 3 points that takes West Ham to 26 in total from 17 games and puts us level with Southampton, with Manchester City, with Tottenham, and with Chelsea, and with Aston Villa, who are in 5th place. All of those 5 teams now, all of those 6 teams now on 26 points in the table. Fantastic start to the new year for West Ham. David Moyes, of course, began last year with a win against Bournemouth. He's done it again by returning to his former club and winning 1-0. Gnome, coming to you first on this one. What an incredible performance that was from West Ham. Absolutely fantastic.
Superb from minute 1 to minute 93 and a bit. Randolph had one save to make, and given, as you say, worst possible start, Fredericks out the squad with COVID, Fabianski pulling up lame in the warm-up. You're thinking, 2020 was bad enough. Is it going to start bad? 2021 going to start badly? But there isn't one player out there that I could say, you could turn around and say 1 or 2 players they might have done better. But as a team, that was a fantastic, superb team performance. We've got Souček on now. Do you want to come back to me? Let's see what he's got to say.
Yeah, sure. We'll do that in just a minute. Rio, I'll come to you next. You were saying that you've been to Goodison Park several times, and it's it's never been a happy hunting ground for West Ham. It certainly was tonight, and we were exceptional, weren't we?
Absolutely amazing tonight. I'd also like to point out that is the second time this season we've gone away from home against a side much lauded and above us, that we've done an absolute more than professional job. We did it at Leicester, a little bit more attacking intent and goals there, but tonight was equally as impressive. We defended with discipline, we worked hard. We haven't put a foot wrong, have we? We've nullified two highly rated forward players in Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin, and we've made them look incredibly ordinary. I don't think they've had a chance between them. It's just absolute. It's an absolute Rolls Royce for performance. We've had 3 games in 6 days, yet we look the more energetic, the more busy, the more professional, the more composed. We looked. It's so un-West Ham-like, particularly going to Merseyside.
Yeah.
I'm almost lost for words because it's that kind of performance we've been crying out for years. And we've not only delivered it, we've made them look absolutely ordinary in the process, It's an absolute amazing performance, and I'm absolutely over the moon, to coin a really cheesy phrase from football. But I am absolutely delighted.
Well, no doubt there'll be a few Everton fans feeling sick as a parrot, Rio, after that home defeat there tonight. Thank you, Rio. Pinky, we were eulogising about some of those performances throughout the 90 minutes, and what can you say? Absolutely brilliant from West Ham. And let's talk about David Moyes as well and give him due credit for making those attacking substitutions.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. Unless ever said so in play, there's not a chance I'd have put Yarmolenko on. Round about the 73rd minute, I would have settled for a point. I mean, because a point away from home, I say it every week, is never a bad result. Moyes, though, he said, no. He's read the game for what he's seen in front of him tonight, and he's gone. We can win this if we make the changes that he made, and he was proven to be absolutely correct. So very brave from Moyes, and a number of myths got slain tonight. There's been talk about Cresswell. Can he do it in a back 4? Well, he seemed to do it tonight in a back 4. So we've got a bit of a dad's army, in the back line. Dawson, Ogbonna and Cresswell. I mean, none of them are spring chickens. But in front of them, just look what's in front of them tonight. Bowen, Rice, Souček, Fornals. Work rate? How much do you want? How much application do you want to see? And do you know what? If there's any Arsenal fans tuned in tonight, that's the midfield they want, because because that's as good a work rate I've seen across the middle of the park for many a long year from West Ham United. And you just saw Declan Rice there at the end, right at the very end. He's carrying the ball out. He's running it down towards the corner flag. He's doing it intelligently, just to see the clock off. But all the way through that game, he is up and down the pitch, making interception after interception, and breaking up attack after attack. I mean, I don't know if Gareth Southgate will be watching that game, but he'd be looking at it and going, I'm not sure when England play next, but Rice is the first name in my squad. That's how good a performance that was from Declan Rice tonight. Yeah. I think we saw Thomas Souček alongside him. They completely outshone Everton there tonight in every facet, whether it's technique, whether it's application, just a complete performance from West Ham's midfield this evening. And to only win by 1 goal was the only disappointment. And dare I say it, the only 2 really weak areas of our team tonight were between the sticks with the late substitution of Randolph coming in, and up top for an hour when Sebastian Haller, again, I don't know whether to cry or shout. you know, if there's one player we need to change and change, for his sake and ours, is Seb Haller. It isn't working from here, but let's not take that away from how we did tonight. Great managerial performance, great on-field performance. And you want to talk about a captain's performance? You've just seen it.
Yeah.
Superb.
Yeah. Absolutely outstanding Declan Rice. But even still, I mean, that you could still argue there were a number of alternative contenders for the man of the match. I mean, there's so many strong performances out there. We've mentioned Souček, of course. Pinky's mentioned Souček there. The defensive central pairing of Ogbonna and Dawson were phenomenal. Absolutely brilliant, considering they've only ever played together once. The fullbacks, Cresswell, I thought had a very, very strong game on the left side. Defensively, it was tough. Putting, you know, nearly scored, could have scored with that free kick. Again, Kufal on the other side, his usual reliable self, which seems to be something you get from these Czech players. The two wingers, Fornals and Bowen, who only lasted 70 minutes, worked like Trojans to get back and, you know, and nullify that Everton attack. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to. I want to accentuate the positives tonight, so I'm not going to mention Sebastian Haller further than what I have just done so. But Benrahma as well put a shift in. You know, Gnome pointed it out a couple of times. A few loose balls went in, but so many options. So do let us know on the live chat who you felt was man of the match tonight. It'd be good to see, and you know what you guys come up with. We'll go through that in just a minute. Before we do that, I want to go to Gnome, who was listening to a little post-match interview there from. Was it Souček or Rice? Sorry, Gnome. Souček. What did he have to say?
Not a lot. Obviously, he's got the biggest grin in the world. I think the baby celebration. I think he recently became a father, didn't he? So that was what that was all about. But you know, he said that he felt anyway that we'd had the better chances in any case up to that point. And you know, he said it's been tough playing that many sort of games over Christmas, but you know, we just had to get on with it. Was effectively what he was saying.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, well played to him, and you know, he's already a key part of the team, isn't he? I mean, he's coming in. Was it about this time last year, didn't he? And
yes, end of the month, wasn't it? Yeah, almost a year. Yeah.
And you know, really pleased for him, obviously. Yeah, and he's that sort of player that he does a lot. He'll work his socks off through the game, and then he'll just add the odd goal here and there to keep things ticking over. And you know, how many really important goals has he got for us? You know, quite a number. And but yeah, didn't have an awful lot to say, obviously.
Okay. Well, let's see what the other. I mean, presumably, you would expect him to be a jubilant David Moyes should be on very soon. So we'll keep an eye out for that one.
When he comes on, obviously. But when he was when the players were coming off, I mean, they showed Souček, and I'm thinking, well, that's the biggest grin you'll ever see. And then I saw Moyes, and I'm thinking, Moyes is saying, I think the accepted internet terminology is "hold my beer," and you know.
Okay. Excellent stuff. Sorry.
Yeah, no, just showing the goal again, and because lots of Everton hands went up for offside, it didn't look offside at all, and they've just shown again that palpably wasn't. So yeah, Ben Godfrey's the culprit at Everton. But
yeah,
you know, I can't stress how pleased I am with that performance.
Yeah, brilliant, absolutely brilliant West Ham performance. One of the best we've seen for some. I mean, we've had some really good performances, haven't we, already this season? But that might just about top the lot. West Ham were exceptional in all areas. Steve Palmer says West Ham are the form team of the year. You can't really argue with that, can you, so far? Just having a quick look at... So we're going to have a look at the forums in just a moment. Rio is going to be looking at the West Ham fans' reaction to that win, and perhaps more enjoyably from a Schadenfreude perspective, Pinky will be looking at the Everton fans' view of their defeat tonight. We asked you on the live chat on YouTube to let us know who you felt was man of the match tonight, who really stood out for you. As I said, so many... contenders really for that tonight. And Hobo says that Moyes for me for going for broke. Fan bloody tastic. I Will Rebel says Ogbonna. Gavin McGrath says I'm going with Rice as man of the match as he bossed at the midfield. Leonard Brooks says I'm going for Ogbonna. I don't think any Everton players got any change from him today. And looking down the list, Connor Green says Oggy again for me, but Rice is sheer class. Sean West, Ogbonna for me. Never seen a West Ham team work so hard, and all credit to David Moyes. We are a different team. Jay Anthrax actually preferring to keep an eye on Rio's shirt tonight. It's not an Anthrax shirt tonight, Rio. It's a Wild Hearts. Wild Hearts, your favourite band, of course.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And look at the luck he's brought us, eh?
Jay asking you, what's the T-shirt going to be for Stockport?
I don't like that. Let's keep the viewers guessing. Let's have a surprise on the night. Draw people in.
There you go. Maybe we should have a vote for what Rio should wear. It's obviously bringing us luck tonight. Polaroid says that Kufal man of the match, nothing glamorous, but did the absolute right thing at every point. Paul going for Ogbonna again. So I mean, a real smorgasbord of selections there for tonight's man of the match, and kind of just reinforcing what we're saying, that there were just so many excellent performances by West Ham tonight as we move level 5th place in the Premier League. With that win tonight, we are going to go to the KUMB.com match thread to see what our fellow jubilant Hammers are saying on there tonight. Rio, what are people saying? I mean, are they just too overjoyed to write? Who knows? Let us know.
There's obviously jubilation everywhere. Benny Repka's put, David Moyes' Claremont Army. Excuse me. The guy deserves the crowd to hear that. Also, Oggy is immense and one of the best defenders in the Premier League. We're only 14 points from safety. 61 Dixie put, what a proud Hammer I am tonight. Superb performance, everyone giving their all, especially after the amount of games we've played recently. This is a very well organised and very good team. Sticky's put, it's a superb defensive performance and a massive result. Parker's here. Not a popular opinion halfway through the game today. There's a little bit of debate about this on the forum. But he's put Benrahma's worked hard today. He needs to be stronger at times. So I think Moyes will be happy with his work rate. Mm-hmm. There's also a very good point, which probably will be best debated after we've done the post-match review. It's about the way that Moyes is shaping his team together. He's put, this is PF on the forum. This team is strikingly similar to the Everton team that he created. One pacey winger in Bowen, or you could substitute Pian after that in his Goodison days. One who tucks in, Fornells, stroke Arteta. But Cahill got in the box off Yukubu's flick-ons. Our number 9 and number 10 that we started with aren't strong enough to do that. But I think the Cahill equivalent would be probably Souček, who does the Cahill kind of Fellaini role. It's just a striker. And if Antonio's fit and playing that role, it is remarkably like Kubu when he set up that the 90s Everton side that Moyes created.
Yeah, really good observation, that. Any others from the forum, or is that what we've got for now?
Just lots of jubilation. If you want lots of oohs, ahs, the only thing I will put, just trying to find now. This is Billy Dino, who gets a lot of stick, doesn't he, at times?
He does.
Sometimes rightly so. But he's put, Souček has a freakish knack for being in the right place at the right time. He's like a talented Kevin Nolan.
That's so Billy Dino, isn't it? That's him all over. I'm just going to say, I mean, I absolutely adore those pages of posts when we score a goal, especially a late winner like tonight, where it is just all those oohs and goals and ahs and all that. It doesn't make for much reading, but it's great fun to look back on. Everton 0. It's finished Everton 0. West Ham United 1. Pinky, what do the Everton fans make of all that?
I think it's fair to say they're not very happy. So here we go from Jim Hopper, who's telling us that schooled by Moyes on our own turf. Didn't even force their crap keeping to any decent saves. Pathetic is his considered opinion. Zesty, so crap. All of that starting 11 except maybe Pickford and Doucouré should be ashamed. They weren't bothered about that even 1%. Brendan Gott, mad how much we kept losing possession and giving them the ball. We didn't deserve to win that, so can't be annoyed really. Curtis can't win games if you can't complete basic passes. Incredibly laughable. I mean, it's just post after post, which is this one. Forever Everton. Everton yet again finding more ways to let every fan down. Welcome to 2021. Same old. Nothing in this club will ever change. Well, we deserved that, says Blue Toff. Moyes did a job on us. Carlo got it wrong. Players abysmal. TGW89, absolute rubbish, the lot of them. Not one spark of creativity, and then all the way through, the next comment, absolutely pathetic. Next comment, that was absolutely, I mean, there isn't a single positive comment anywhere on that. I mean, it could take you 4 or 5 days to sort that through in the opposition view, just to whittle down to the one suitable for a family audience. But
yes.
The disappointing thing for me there, really, reading through their forum, I don't think they're giving nearly enough credit to West Ham United's performance tonight. There was a hint of some grudging praise for David Moyes there, but with the best will in the world, we've singled out a defensive partnership in Dawson and Ogbonna that it's a scratch partnership, and they're up against the current England number 9 and gave him nothing. We've got a midfield pairing of Souček and Rice that absolutely bossed it from the first minute to the last. And you have to say Moyes got every decision right tonight. Every single call he got right. The players knew the job. They carried out his plan. And dare I say it, we could probably go to Stockport with some confidence, which is unusual for us going to Stockport, to be fair. So really good night for West Ham.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that only leaves us in that kind of mid-table zone, sitting in 10th place, and you say, well, disappointed to be in 10th spot. Well, where were we this time last year?
Well, look, let's look at it as joint 5th, Pinky. Let's look at it that way. Let's be super positive. It's only goal difference. What does that matter? We never have a good goal difference. So,
look, come the end of the season, it might, but in a 12-month period, if you look what we've done, I mentioned it the other night. A year ago at this stage, we were 30 points behind Liverpool. We're now 10 points behind Liverpool, something like that. And for my money, yes, Liverpool, you could argue, have gone back a bit, but we've come forward a long way. And the manager hasn't spent a whole lot of money thus far. And dare I say it, the shortcomings in what we've got is where we're having to paper over the cracks of previous regimes where they've wasted, £100 million. And I just fear that maybe in the second half of the season, because I haven't got any confidence the chairman's going to dip into his pocket, the second half of the season will start to run out of legs. But tonight, no complaints. Declan Rice is probably running back from Merseyside to London as we speak. And it wouldn't surprise me if he's already at Watford. That's how much energy that means.
I'm glad you touched on Declan Rice, because that segues me nicely into where I was going to go next. Firstly, yes, I think the opposition view is going to be a joy to read tomorrow on KUMB.com. Look out for that on the homepage from around lunchtime tomorrow. Gnome, Declan Rice, Pinky's called it there.
Before
phenomenal.
we do Declan Rice, would you like to hear what David Moyes had to say? Because he's just
because I'm going to segue into Declan Rice. We'll come in. Give me your thoughts on Declan first. Then we'll come straight back in. Back in. Phenomenal performance. One word answer. Then, as we'll go on to Moisey afterwards. Declan Rice, was that his best ever West Ham performance tonight?
Possibly, yeah. He was outstanding.
That's 6 words. That's 6 words. Too many. Yeah. Too many. Give me David Moyes.
Outstanding. Anyway, shall I go to Moyes? Do you want me to go to Moyes?
Please do.
Obviously, silly grin all over his face. Very pleased, given that we've had the three games in 6 days. And he said, you wouldn't have noticed that from the way they played today. commenting on Souček, he said, well, he's played better for us, but he'll keep chipping in with those goals, and I'm very, very pleased. So it's exactly what you'd expect him to say. He's absolutely delighted, and I mean, fair play to him. Not just the substitutions, but over the last 3 games, the way that the squad has been managed and rotated. I mean, we all raised eyebrows at the Southampton lineup. I thought, hang on, but that works. We were worth possibly more there. More changes today, and he's delighted, and he's just, I think he's happy to have got through. Given the sort of lack of time, and we've got Ancelotti on at the moment, and he's bemoaning the lucky deflection that meant that they lost the game. I'll run through briefly what he's saying, thanks to the text. Seamus Khan was saying that perhaps they deserve to win the game. Ancelotti thinks a point would have been a fair result, but it can happen. Sometimes you're unlucky. We didn't deserve to win. We didn't deserve to lose, but we lost the point. Sorry, just catching up with it. We have to get.
Should we come back?
Yeah.
Should we come back to Ancelotti in a minute? Now, when you've got a full assessment of what he had to say, we'll come back to you in just a minute, buddy. On that, Rio. We touched on the fact before the game and during the game, of course, that Everton hadn't played since Boxing Day. We played 2 games since then. So the real concern that we all held here was that fatigue would play a major part as the game wore on. If anything, it was the other way around, wasn't it? We grew into the game and became stronger as the final whistle loomed and approached. And Everton were the team that faded. Really good. Was that just down to game management by David Moyes, or how did you sort of see that?
I think it's a combination of a couple of things. If you remember, the last 3 or 4 months of Pellegrini's reign, we could barely move. Our players were treading water, and this was like 3 or 4 months into the season. The kind of work rate, the kind of fitness levels that we now have under Moyes and his coaching staff, it's like a completely different world. And to play 3 games in 6 days and to run a team off the park, and it's normally a hard-working Everton team, isn't it? We always normally have a lot of energy about them, a lot of work rate. Apart from Tom Davies today, we absolutely bossed them. We outrun them, we outthought them. We were not only tactically better, physically better, more intelligent. It was just a consummate performance.
Exceptional all round from West Ham, and another player. I mean, Rio, we could, as I said, we could talk about aspects of every single player's performance tonight and pick some really good things out, but another player I'd like to talk about. We didn't really speak about him much during the game. He was man of the match against Southampton, and he could be a worthy contender again tonight. What about Craig Dawson coming and partnered Angelo Ogbonna, and that's 2 clean sheets since he came into the side.
Yeah, would you believe it? A player who, when we signed him on loan, I don't think I saw one positive comment about that move. Everyone was up in the air. Why the hell are we buying this man? He's a relegation fodder.
Yeah.
He's another Roger Johnson. 2 games, 2 clean sheets, 2 comedy moments, which always a bonus, a little bit of entertainment.
Yes, you're right. Won a game. Yeah.
He just looks like he's been playing alongside Angelo Ogbonna and in that back 4 his entire life. The other night, he kept Danny Ings, England candidate, England international, one of the best players in the Premiership this season. Hardly had a chance apart from that early slip up, which was offside, thankfully. Ever since then. Yeah,
sorry, Ray. I was just going to. Sorry, apologies. I was just going to say. I think Pinky pointed out, didn't he, that Ings didn't have a single touch of the ball inside our penalty box, bar the effort that was disallowed.
Yeah, and again tonight, another international in Calvert-Lewin. I don't think he touched the ball. Again, someone heard his name mentioned, really. Well, I think it was when he went off. I think I heard him one other time, and that was he got offside or something like that. It's something ridiculous. Craig Dawson, the most unlauded signing we've had probably since Roger Johnson, to be honest, has come in, done an absolute professional job, and he just looks like a natural West Ham player, doesn't he? Quiet, efficient, workmanlike.
There you go. Dawson for England. You heard it here first. Gnome, coming back to you now. Ancelotti was speaking while we were on before. You've managed to round up his comments. He seemed to be a little bit aggrieved that West Ham were leaving Merseyside and Stanley Park, the blue side of Stanley Park, with all 3 points tonight.
He felt the goal owed a lot to what he said was an unlucky deflection. Yeah, suck it up, that Carla. But in the end, he was honest enough to say, I didn't think we were worth the win, but I thought we were worth the point. Well, didn't score. So didn't really add much to what I was saying early on, to be honest. There were some comments about the return of James, as he's got at the back of his shirt, as we decided to call him. But he looked obviously downbeat, and just what I've got to say, and one of the things that just listening to the people who came back on here, I'm just wondering if BT, I'm not really sort of watching it now, but if they're giving us enough credit for that win, because they seem to be thinking, well, Everton had all this possession, but as I said earlier on, when they had the number of passes up at half time, just for half time, it's all very well if you get the ball, you look up and you've got nothing on because you're being marked out of the game, so you pass it back to the guys just given it to you. There's a pass. Well, it's not very effective, is it? So I'm wondering if we're getting enough credit on the books. I don't know, but as I say, we mentioned Calvert-Lewin, whatever his name is.
Well,
and he's obviously off form at the moment. I mean, he apparently hadn't scored in the last 4. He wasn't given any margin at all today.
Well, the thing is, no, there wasn't just Calvert-Lewin, was it? I mean, Rodriguez, as we said, Richarlison as well. Those 3 players have been playing so well for Everton this season. Give it a sniff. Nothing at all.
None of them. And that's just you've got to give us credit for the way we played there. And that was, as I say, with Moyes on that. I mean, that was a performance way beyond anything we had a right to expect from a team that, I know there's been squad rotation, but there's a team there that many of whom, I mean, Rice and Souček have both played every minute of every league game this season. Souček as well. And given that, we had no right to expect a performance that good, even with squad rotation. And, Moyes was very, very quick to give credit to the players, and he said that he said there is a change in mindset from before, and there is that work ethic. We've mentioned Benrahma and all that, and obviously he's in the team for his attacking prowess, but as you said earlier on, a couple of times he's chipped in, and when you see people busting a gut, we saw Antonio running back to make a tackle. And when that's happening around you, that's going to rub off on you. And a few times before Benrahma, just get a little foot in here. There's an anticipation there. It's not what he's on the pitch for. But the fact is that, if you're on the pitch, everybody's got to work. And, the days of, you say you're a luxury player, well,
no more.
Those are gone, really. And the fact is that if you see if your teammates busting a gut to get the ball back, that's going to rub off on you if you're any sort of decent player. So
I think it's not just that. No, I mean, it's if that's the general atmosphere at the club and the way the team are playing, that if you don't match those standards, you're not going to be in the team for long. So
exactly. So I'm just, I've got given a present yesterday, which is so unapt at the moment. I don't even see that. And I'm going to have to sort of put a bit of tape over one of the words on that where it says grumpy, I think.
There you go. Yes, you can put that away for your birthday, perhaps. But yeah, certainly no grumpy West Ham fans tonight after the Hams went to Goodison Park, came away with all 3 points thanks to Thomas Souček's 86th minute winning goal. Some stats from the game. Possession stats: Everton 60% to West Ham's 40. Shots on goal 10 apiece. Everton's 10 shots. West Ham 10 shots. Shots on target, however, Everton only 2 shots on target in 90 minutes. Once again, West Ham really restricting the home side to a minimal number of chances. West Ham 5 shots on target in the game, so coming out on top clearly there. 5 corners for Everton to West Ham's 4, and that all-important XG stat. Everton with an XG expected goal stat of 0.37 compared to West Ham's of 1.2. So pretty much bearing out in what we saw in the game on this occasion. Pinky, one thing I'd like to ask you about, going back really to something Rio mentioned earlier when he was doing his roundup of the KUMB.com match thread. PF, I think it was Rio, who said that Moyes is shaping his team like his Everton side of the 1990s. You gave some, some similarities. Spoke about one pacey winger, one tucking in on the other side. Talking about Bowen, being that extrovert, and Fornells doing the graft, etc. Talked about Cahill and Fellaini. Pinky, is that how you see it? Do you think that's a fair assumption from PF to say that Moyes hasn't really changed his stance in all that time, but this is very much an Everton-esque 90s West Ham side?
Possibly. I mean, why would a manager need to change a philosophy? Yeah, because that's essentially what PF is saying. He's not changed his philosophy. It's, and I'm not suggesting that PF's offering as a criticism. Quite the reverse by the sound of things. It's good football. If a manager knows this is what is going to work more often than not, why would he want to change away from that? And for my money, what he's done, by bringing in Bowen, by bringing in Souček, by leaving out now Mark Noble and making sure that Rice plays every single week. If you look at the age profile in the team, if you broke it into 3 sections, if you want to be as crude as that, defence, midfield and attack, he's got the youth on the pitch where you need the youth. He's got the experience on the pitch where you need the experience. And dare I say it, we were a player short of being a really good team, which is a striker. And so he's got, there's clearly a plan as to, what he wants in which part of the field. And it's very telling that he's willing to select an on-loan centre-back to partner Ogbonna. And it's important that people understand it's a partnership with Ogbonna rather than go for the player that the previous manager paid over £20 million for. And part of that will be, is Ogbonna really comfortable playing with Diop? And I suspect he's not. I think at the times when they were paired together, we saw Oggy getting a lot more flustered when he had Diop alongside him. So I think there's a lot more consideration given to picking a pair of centre-backs by David Moyes. And I think he's gone with Dawson there tonight. He's an experienced player. We had the comedy moment where we all think, oh my God, what's going on here? But I mentioned it earlier. I don't think the Everton supporters have given our lot the credit we deserve. This is an Everton team that's picked up 13 points from 15 in the league. I'm just looking at the teams they've beaten to get those points. Sheffield United away, Arsenal at home, Leicester City away, and what's the next result? Chelsea at home. And you could say the only ropey result was the away draw at Burnley. But beating Arsenal and Chelsea, you know, to go on that decent run. So that's a form team that we've just put to bed tonight.
Yep.
And again, you know, some of the comments on Grand Old Team, you know, are alluding to, and I think Ancelotti's interview alluded to, that, you know, felt a draw would have been fairer. Really? 7 West Ham United shirts within 20 yards of the Everton goal line when we scored, with less than 10 minutes to go.
Yeah.
You know, we weren't playing for a draw there. We were playing to win. And you know, we got the points because we were the more positive team. So for me tonight, all good stuff. And, you know, whether or not Moyes is just trying to put together what he had, well, fine. If he is, great. You know, I think sometimes you can overanalyze all that. It's just say what you want is youthful legs in the middle of the field, experience at the back that you know will make the right decisions, because, you know, that's such a big thing of defending is decision making. And you almost want fearless strikers. You want young guns up front, you know, and ultimately a player like Jamie Vardy is the exception that proves the rule, that he can still do it at the grand old age that he is. Yeah. But you think down the years, a lot of strikers that burst onto the scene, they're relatively young, because actually they'll swing the boot without even thinking about it. And I think what Moyes has done is he's constructed his team intelligently, saying experience at the back, legs in the middle, and we just need a bit of bravery up top now, and then we'll be flying.
Very, very much so. Thank you very much. And of course, I mean, I make you absolutely right. Why change a winning formula? You know, and that seems to be the approach that David Moyes is taking, not only with the first team, but also with his backroom team, and also his recruitment seems to be a formula that he's worked out over the years, and he's very happy with it. And thankfully, as far as we're all West Ham United supporters, it seems to be paying great dividends currently, and of course, long may that continue. Rio. The Souček quote. Now, what's this about potatoes?
Yeah, in his post-match interview, they asked him what he'd been doing over the Christmas period. And he was very effusive in the fact that he's had a little bit of a break and he's eaten a lot of potato salad. So this is the key to West Ham's renewed vigour and form. I've just found this little stat as well. Since joining West Ham, Thomas Souček has as many Premier League goals as Kevin De Bruyne, Riyad Mahrez and Tammy Abraham. He's also outscored the likes of Roberto Firmino, Mason Greenwood, Gabriel Jesus and Richarlison. I'd also like to warn everybody watching that after Thomas's little comment about potato salad, after Mikel Antonio's increased use of the hot water bottle, you know what's heading to a club shop near you.
Yes, very much so. Well, look, these are indeed salad days at West Ham United, and you know, obviously it's all in the potato. There you go. You heard it here first, viewers. Well, not if you were listening to Thomas's interview, but there you go. Gnome, West Ham United up to, well, we're still 10th in the table. Well, we can say joint 5th. Does this mean we can go to Stockport with some sense of confidence now?
Yeah, and I'll tell you why. Nothing to do with the league form, but everything to do with what David Moyes has been saying about changing the mindset of players. I think that he will undoubtedly rest players for Stockport, and I think rightly so. If you've had 3 games in 6 days, then, you know, Stockport is an ideal time to get some recovery into those legs. But whereas in recent seasons, the players who've come in might have been a little bit, you know, yeah, I'm only playing because it's a cup game, and there's that sort of attitude there. I think the players that will come in will be of a mindset wanting to win that game, because it'll be, you know, they're seeing a sort of good squad developing, and there may be the odd youngster in there and all that. The young lad whose name I can't pronounce is being touted for a start up front. But excuse me. I think that mindset has changed since last year, since we were going to
yes,
Wimbledon on a cold night. And it's when I was lucky enough to get a ticket in the ballot for the second away game at Wimbledon. Yeah, of course we should be beating Stockport. Yeah, weird things happen in cup games, but I think if anything happens in this game, it won't be because of the players' attitude, which I certainly felt last season. We had and the attitude was completely wrong for that FA Cup game at Wimbledon.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah. So
you said no. You talked about the changing attitude there. I said I wanted to accentuate the positives tonight, or not dwell on anything sort of negative. But I've got to ask you about Sebastian Haller. It's just not working out for him tonight. I said before the game, is this perhaps his last opportunity because Michail Antonio is fit and sort of chomping at the bit once again? Is this Sebastian's last chance to impress? And he's kind of fluffed his lines again, hasn't he? Hasn't really impressed. Where do we go from here with Haller? Is this a player we can persist with, or do you think Moyes has perhaps come to the realization that it would be better if he looks for another club?
He put he did a bit of work today, but it's often been said that when without Antonio, without another striker, somebody alongside him, we're not playing to his strength, which may be a fair point. But he's got to meet us halfway somewhere along the line. Yeah, we know he's not an Antonio type player. Fine, but I mean, he's really in at the moment. We've got no other alternatives, and I think there's a good player there, but not at this club. We're not playing. He doesn't suit us, and we don't suit him, and that's not a criticism of him. It's just a fact there. Now, as to, I don't think we'll be seeing him next season. And if somebody came in and offered a decent amount for him, we've seen rumours about Wolves wanting him on loan. Well, I'd rather send him on loan. If we've got to just get him off the wage bill, I'd rather send him on loan somewhere across the water. Just to because he'd be one of those players, he'd come back he wouldn't be able to play against us, but. If we sold him to somebody in the UK or in England, he'd been sort of player come back and bites on the backside. But I think.
Do you think that's him? Do you think that's it for him at West Ham now, though, or do you think there is chance for some kind of renaissance to recover the form that he showed at Frankfurt?
I don't really think he's got a long-term future at West Ham. It's because David Moyes has in his head the way he wants to play, and he simply doesn't fit that, and he's not shown that he's adaptable enough. I said meet us halfway. Well, he's, I'm not saying he's not worked and all that, but it's just not that player. He's not that player, and I think at the end of the day, given the option, if we can get another striker in, that will take up, because everything hinges on Antonio at the moment, and his hot water bottle.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah, I mean, if God forbid, if we have to rely on him, if that hot water bottle sprouts a leak, and we got to bring him on a cold night. I think he's going to be gone sooner or later. And that's I don't want to. It's not abusive. It's not nasty criticism. I just think he's the wrong player at the wrong time.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Gnome. Pinky, taking that point up, Gnome says he's not the right player, but this is the thing I struggle with. He's a very talented boy. He's a fantastic footballer, Sebastian Haller. Graft, but what is it that we're actually missing apart from hard work and endeavour? We've spoken about how the rest of the team can do that. We've even said tonight, Said Benrahma, who was a player that we felt might be a bit of a luxury, didn't always come off for him tonight, but I think it's fair to say he grafted for the 90 minutes he was out there. Sebastian Haller just doesn't seem prepared, or it doesn't seem to have it in him to do it. And this is the thing I struggle with, is why is that? Because this is a guy, and this is a point that you always make, that to get to the position these players are in, they've had to excel from the moment they started kicking a ball, from the age of 4 or 5 years old, okay? They've had to impress a series of coaches, from their under-9s manager right through to their local clubs, youth coaches, being bought for big money and gone on to impress there. Why can't David Moyes and why can't West Ham get it through to Sebastian Haller that all you need to do is work that little bit harder? And we say it every week, don't we? When Michail Antonio comes on, there's the difference. Antonio works like a Trojan, works incredibly hard, chases lost causes. We saw it once from Sebastian Haller tonight. I think we pointed it out when he made that run to the out wide to challenge the Everton player and win a throw-in. Why can't he do it consistently?
Because he doesn't want to, ultimately. For me, strikers have to fall into one or two camps. Either you stand there doing nothing all game, but you score 20 goals a season, in which case you're the first name on the team sheet, or you run around, okay? Because ultimately, if he's scoring every single week, no one cares if he stood there like a statue. No one would care, okay? And I've seen players over the years who barely move, but they just swing a boot and in it goes. Thank you very much, and they'll get the goal. Sorry.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think the perfect example of that was Stan Collymore. I mean, I used to watch him at Southend, and he would almost stand on the halfway line with his almost like this, wait for the ball to come. Someone would pass to him and it'd be in the back of the net, and that's why he earned that big money move to Forest and then subsequently Liverpool. But anyway,
so you're either that type of player, or you've got to run around a bit and make things happen. And there's 2 matches running where the player that's replaced him within seconds has embarrassed her just by running around, and I'm afraid that's not a good look for a professional footballer. Now, we don't know what goes on behind the scenes. We don't know whether, his family have settled in London. We don't know whether certain promises were made to him before he came. Mm-hmm. Or we don't know how diligently we researched the player that we spent £42 million on. And I just wonder if anyone's got a library of tapes of Eintracht Frankfurt, whether or not we'll be watching a player who played for them that was running around very much, or whether it was a case of actually he had a half decent season, but half his goals have come from the penalty spot.
Yeah.
And we've overpaid for a player based on a goal tally that actually doesn't reflect his true ability. And to a certain extent, what I'm saying is that's down to us. And you can say it's Pellegrini and he's gone now, or it's David Sullivan for not interrogating Pellegrini sufficiently diligently and saying, well, is he really worth the money? Show me what he does that is worth that money. And so I don't think we did our research as thoroughly as we needed to have done. And maybe the player we're seeing is the player that Frankfurt had, and the only difference is from the penalty spot. And it just might not be in him. And trying to teach a player, and I go back to my Brian Clough bag of cement, comment, in terms of a trapper ball. If Haller's not done those things, or running channels, dragging defenders around, trying to make things happen, going in where it hurts, in the first 20 odd, years of his life, he's not going to learn them now. And therefore, for my money, as soon as we get an adequate replacement, I'll be looking to trade in, but we need the replacement first. because we know Mikel Antonio is fragile. We know he's also a converted striker. So we need to get, a decent caliber striker on the books, because at this point in time, the odd spectacular goal, it was the overhead kick. Absolutely, we're all out of our chairs going, wow, what a player. But actually, for a manager, if you're David Moyes, you're going, no, if you do the spectacular, I still need 20 a season. Mm-hmm. If you're not doing the spectacular, you need to bring more to the team than just 8 or 10 or 12 goals a year. It's not, his goal tally isn't compensating for his lack of application. And that's the long, and it's a shame, but dare I say it, there's a few players signed on the Pellegrini era that you really have got to question how thorough our recruitment process was. And a really interesting comment on the forum today from Bubbles 1966, who pointed out in the gap between Bilic and Pellegrini, when Tony Henry left the club's payroll, that's when our recruitment hit a real wobble. And he said the players signed in the post-Henry era that we've spent over 100 million quid on, who's actually starting regularly? It's only Fornals.
Yeah, and who would have thought that when they first came into the club? Fornals, of course, was panned, wasn't he, for the first few months of his time at the club? But but of course, it goes to show, I guess, that the real difference between the two. You've got Fornals, who is a complete graft, works and works and works. We saw it today. We saw it throughout the whole game, and there's that complete juxtaposition with Sebastian Haller, who kind of just glides through the game as is kind of on the periphery, isn't he, all the time? And
I've got a mate who sweats more when it's his round next to the pub, than Seb Haller, and when you actually saw at the end of tonight's game, Declan Rice on the 93rd minute, when he slumped down on the pitch on his backside, he'd given everything tonight, covered every blade of grass. And he must look at Seb Haller and go, you're not even out of breath, mate. Yeah. You haven't even worked up a sweat at any stage of the game. That can't be good for morale. If Haller's scoring every single week, Rice isn't going to make any. The professionals, they know the score. If you score every week, well, don't care what you do, mate. Yeah. But if you're not scoring every week and you're not working, the professionals will start to call you out.
Yes, very much so. Very much so. Thank you, Pinky. Rio, finally on Sebastian Haller. Gnome says he thinks, his time's up. He doesn't think he's got a future at the club. Pinky thinks basically he just doesn't have the, he just doesn't want to work for the team as everybody else is doing. Did you kind of agree with those viewpoints? And do you see any hope that, David Moyes can turn this around and make a success out of Haller?
No, I think the gents are completely spot on. We bought him not because he fitted into our system, but on the back of an incredibly successful partnership with Luka Jovic at Frankfurt.
Yeah.
As a pair, they terrorised that league. And we bought him as a lone striker. We didn't do the homework, as Pinky suggested. We bought a player who needs that strike partner that he trusts. He needs that strike partner who would do the lion's share of the work, the lion's share of the effort to create the space in which Haller scores. He's gone from being a prolific scorer in Germany, where people are doing the work for him, to not putting in his weight in our setup. And he just isn't going to fit into the Moyes setup and the Moyes way of thinking. He's gone from being a prolific striker. He is now, he's not a great goal scorer in Britain. Yeah. He's a scorer of great goals, but not a great goal scorer.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that sums him up. And I just don't think I think he's kind of almost traumatized by leaving Germany, coming to England, and having to play a system which really doesn't suit him and is completely alien to the way he's been so successful over the last 4 years in Europe.
But this is my point, I think, Rio, that I was trying to make earlier. I mean, surely the very best players adapt. I mean, we're not asking for him to score 30 goals a season. All we're asking is for him to emulate the effort that Michail Antonio puts in. Why?
Yeah,
Why can't he do that?
I just think he's traumatised by the whole move. He started really brightly in his first 2 or 3 games. Obviously, he had the personal issues with his family, I just don't think he's really recovered from that. I think he's had an absolute debilitating effect on him as a player. You know, he looks devoid of any confidence. He's seen someone come step into the breach when he's been absent and do his role 5 or 6 more times more efficient than he could ever wish to be honest.
Yeah.
He's missing not only a strike partner, he's missing the work ethic, and how can I put it? He's missing the confidence and the application. And I think once you lose that confidence, particularly at a club where you've only just settled down, you've had a bit of a tough time till you started your career over in London. I think he's got a long-lasting effect. I think if he could go back into Europe, back to Germany, back to Holland, he'd be a rip-roaring success. But I just don't think English football suits him. English football definitely doesn't suit him without a strike partner, the quality of Hobbits, to do a lot of his work for him.
Okay. Well, I mean, I did say, thank you, Rio. I mean, I did say a little while ago that I didn't want to accentuate the negatives of tonight, and we've sort of discussed Hilaire. But I think it's a shame. I think we can all agree it's a shame. It just hasn't worked out, and it will probably be for the best that maybe we can find him another club before too long, and hopefully David Moyes can use the funds generated to replace him with someone who is more effective in that system. But yeah, I mean, let's get back onto more happy events. West Ham have gone to Everton tonight and produced one of the best performances we've probably ever seen. Anyone in our lifetimes has ever seen at Goodison Park. And we've had a few wins up there over the years, but I'd say this is probably up there with the best of them. And in terms of this season, probably one of the best performances we've produced under David Moyes this, in 2021. Fantastic way to start the year. As someone said on YouTube chat earlier, West Ham, the form team of 2021 so far. And I'd like to just go to the to our team here and ask for their final summary on the night's events, and perhaps also give a man of the match nomination. I know that's not particularly easy because, as we said before, there's an awful lot of candidates. Gnome, we'll come to you first, buddy. Your final thoughts on that?
As I said before, we've gone up there in the past and may have sneaked a win here or there. There was a good performance up there, I think, when we were somehow 2-0 down, and then Payet inspired us to a 3-2 win.
Fantastic.
But I really can't praise both the management and the team enough for that today. That was the sort of performance we don't expect from West Ham, and to do it that way, full of praise. And well done. Man of the match, as you say, lots and lots of candidates. The Dawson and Ogbonna in the middle of the back four were imperious. Kufal putting the shift. Thought David Moore was a little bit harsh on Souček. I thought he had another good game, but at the risk of this sounding very boring, I've got to go with Declan Rice, who was absolutely outstanding. At the end, Piggy's mentioned he dribbled up the left-hand side to intelligently to get the ball up there. Final whistle, he's down there, and he's on his haunches, and I think what's happened is he's looked down there and he's thought, I'm not sure if that particular blade of grass got covered by me today. That he was absolutely everywhere. And I mean, it's an easy thing to say, oh yeah, Declan, but I really thought he earned that one today. So Declan for me.
Declan it is for Gnome. Gnome, thank you very much once again for your thoughts throughout the evening and your company. Pinky, over to you, buddy. Final assessment and your man of the match award, please.
For me, outstanding team performance. good in defence, good in midfield. Ultimately, did enough in attack in the sense that we got a goal, but just the work rate tonight. Things that normally you wouldn't expect from our lads. Freezing cold, New Year's Day, north of England. It's just got nailed on defeat. Written all over it, hasn't it? Really, year after year. If I'd been going there today, I'd have had a carload of blokes, and all the way up would have been gone. Regulation 2-0 defeat, haven't got a prayer, all the rest of it, go through the motions sort of stuff. But no, what we saw was the hardest working team that I've seen in a long time from West Ham United. And I don't know what David Moyes has said to them, but I'll tell you something, he wanted to win there tonight. He really wanted to win there tonight, almost to the point of, dare I say it, he's probably sick to death of reading newspaper article after newspaper article about, he's done nothing since he was at Everton. Almost as if the last couple of 100 games of his managerial career count for nothing. So he got the boys fired up there tonight. Good team performance, thoroughly deserved the win in my view. When you do the opposition's view, I think they're now up to 40 pages of criticism of their own team. Okay. There's some glorious stuff in there, like can we buy Souček and things like that. And so for my money, great stuff. Man of the match is Declan Rice. And I don't know whether that's Rice doing the transfer window is open, and I'm going to show every team in Europe this is what's available, because there wouldn't be a team in Europe who wouldn't want him on tonight's showing. That's how good he was tonight. And if you want to see how you play his position, if you're a youngster, that's the job. And if you do that 20, 30 times a season, you're not playing for Chelsea. You're playing for someone like Real Madrid. That's how good Declan Rice was this evening. Outstanding.
There you go. You heard it here. Declan Rice good enough to play for any club team in the world on that performance. And to be fair, I think it'd be hard to disagree. He was absolutely incredible, outstanding in attack and defence, as Pinky rightfully points out there. Thank you, Pinky, for your company once again on this first day of the year, and your considered thoughts as always. Rio, finally, Rio, for the final word on what's been a brilliant night for West Ham. We've all thoroughly enjoyed it, haven't we, tonight? It's been an absolutely thoroughly enjoyable experience. Man of the match for you, and your final comments, please, buddy.
Every single player who appeared in that part tonight for us, and I'm including Hilaire here because it's a difficult job going to Goodison Park, and they've been a well-drilled unit all season. Didn't have the greatest game, but he did enough, That first hour that he was on the pitch made it easier for Antonio to come on and do the dirty work, and the more hard-working, bullish effect that he has, and which opens the game up at times. So every single player who was on that park for us tonight deserves credit. I'm not going to slag any of them off. There's 3 candidates for me for man of the match. Declan Rice should get the award. It should be a hat-trick from each of us. He should have got it. But because he's becoming so consistently excellent, I'm going to award it to someone else. Normally, I would have gone for Angelo Ogbonna because, again, what an absolutely imperious performance. And this is the second season running where he's been an absolute rock and a half, quality, smoothness personified. And I wouldn't swap him for virtually any centre half in the Premier League. But my man of the match tonight, because he's got that unnerving act that we've been lacking for a long while. He's always in the right place at the right time, always worth a goal, and he's made potato salad sexy again. Thomas Souček, take it out.
What do you mean again?
Well, look, there's something you never thought you would have heard on Eyes Up Mother Brown tonight or at any time. He's made potato salad sexy again, and he certainly has. And he was sexy, and so was our football tonight. We were thoroughly sexy. Good Lord, it was like an 18 performance. You wouldn't want to show your kids to take your kids to that at the cinema. It was that revoltingly sexy. West Ham have gone to Goodison Park. We have won. Started the new year in superb style, a 1-0 win, courtesy of a Thomas Suchet. Oh, my man of the match. I'm going to give it to Declan Rice. It's a tough one, but could have been anyone, but there you go. West Ham winning at Goodison Park to start the new year in perfect fashion. We remain 10th in the Premier League by virtue of goal difference, but on the same number of points as Aston Villa, who are in 5th, 5 places above us. It's really that tight at the top of the Premier League as we begin 2021. I would like to take this opportunity to wish all of our readers and viewers a very, very happy new year from everyone here at KUMB.com. Do come and visit us on the forum to let us know what you thought of the match tonight and everything else that goes on in and around the club. My thanks also to everyone who joined us here on the live stream tonight and always supporting us in our little venture here. My thanks also tonight to my team, to Rio, to Gnome and to Pinky for their expert advice and company once again. That's it. West Ham, we've gone to Goodison Park. We've won 3 lovely points. Long may it continue. Bring on Stockport. Let's have ya.